you can give timelines for about 2 years. The people will relocate, but the farmland still maintained. You cannot pick the crops and go and relocate. You can't relocate the crops because these are farmlands. And so there should be deliberate effort by governments, by the ministry, the ministry in charge, the minister, the NADMO, the MP, the MC, to ensure that how do we deal with the Bagre Dam issue, like Doc is talking about. Years ago, there was a ministry for special development initiative to create special dams. One village, one dam, right?
Yeah.
Then the minister says that the 250,000 Ghana cedis couldn't construct meaningful dams.
But dug out.
But look at what was created. If it wasn't, the 250,000 Ghana cedis wasn't able to construct meaningful dams, how much did we need at that time to ensure that when the dam is being spilled, the water can be stored in those dams? After that period, the governments, another government has come, or during that time, what did government do? What was the report available to the governments, to the ministry, to the agencies to deal with this matter? Because every year we'll come back to talk about this matter, like the flood here in Accra. So you see now everybody is quiet about the floods. Next year we'll come back. July will come.
Yeah.
And when we come, government will go and stand at Atala. Government will go and stand at Odona.
Some will walk in mud.
Some walk in mud. Wear volunteer boots. Procure volunteer boots. Who want to be? The contract will be given to somebody.
Somebody will take a helicopter.
And then we'll fly into the air and look at the demography of the town. How the town has been destroyed. And then we'll say, let's go and do every Saturday cleanup exercise. Next year will come. The same as we are talking about Bagre Dam today. So today it will be spilled. I'm just imagining what is going to the people's
in
mind.
my lifetime. I'm sure it's been spilled. I can't possibly count.
So every year we'll
But in
spill
my
it.
lifetime,
Yeah, every year.
It looks like it's
Meanwhile,
either
if
every
you
year or every other year.
Every year.
Every year.
Within, it happens, if not the beginning of August, middle of August, or getting to the end of August.
Meanwhile, if it was a serious country, by now, they would have generated electricity from this water. They would generate electricity from this water.
Here we do it. Ababase.
ECG is not up now. They use NETCO, right?
Yeah.
So NETCO can. Oh, Harry. Yeah.
You see, the opportunities for us because of the spillage is huge. Were we not here when we were discussing that worrying issue about importation of tomatoes from Burkina Faso?
Yeah.
And the fact that the rains were not coming in certain quantities in that part of the country.
Yeah.
What was the whole idea behind, the construction of the dams under the previous administration? We said we're going to be doing one village, one dam.
Yeah.
We wasted the money.
Yeah.
We made available 250,000 Ghana cedis, which will not construct the dam behind my house.
For each dam.
So we wasted the money.
Yeah.
Nobody was held accountable. Nothing happened to anybody,
Yeah.
as far as I'm aware. Nothing happened to anybody. I don't know what the budget for the construction of the dams were. I don't know how many dams they wanted to construct in those areas, but I remember the 250,000 cedis for one of them. Now the water is going to be, the dam is going to be opened.
Yeah.
It will just spill.
Yeah.
It will not be collected. It will just be wasted. That same water will just percolate into the soil, and yapong.
Destroy people's
Nothing would
property.
happen.
Yeah.
It would rather cause a certain level of distraction.
Yeah.
Where we could have constructed dams that could have collected the water. And this happens almost every year.
Yeah.
Me, I thought it was even every other year. Almost every year.
Every year.
And all these years, we are not doing anything about it.
We are always talking about irrigation exercise for our crops on our farmlands up north. So if you are wasting the spillage of the water, how then do we deal with that?
So we'll bring you a live update.
That's the only thing we can do. A live update they will give.
And then
But
beyond the
beyond the
updates,
live
what?
updates, livelihoods are affected.
We'll give you the number of people who will be affected.
Incidentally,
And not more, but it's not more.
It's
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
it will be a
Yeah,
deeper-
yeah.
Because-
No, I think they went there yesterday.
The other is-
Incidentally,
Yeah.
in the
Nabil,
Upper East region,
You are going there to wait for the.
they are going there to wait for the distraction so that we support the efforts.
We would
So every year there's a budget. There's
Yeah.
a budget allocated for distraction.
we'll call on stakeholders to help
Oh, Charlie.
and give donations for relief
black man.
items. Yeah.
So
So that's
so
what they will
Debbie,
do.
oh, There be.
No, they are there
Yeah,
waiting for
yeah.
the level of distraction the spirit
yeah.
will cause,
There be-
so that
Kwame.
they can assist.
Yeah.
So these people, did they attend the same schools we attended? How is it that we are thinking this way?
And those in office
And it
are
seems
not
that-
thinking this way.
And we are safe to say that because nothing has happened over the period, it is safe to say that nobody is thinking this way that we are
Surprisingly,
thinking.
they were also thinking the same way you were thinking.
But when they
the
got there-
The moment they
everything-
Ah,
everything
okay.
changed.
So when we get there,
Everything will change.
okay, okay.
Yesterday, when we
yeah,
had Mr.
yeah,
Horace
yeah.
Angra here, there was something very poignant he mentioned, and then we also discussed as well. Who we put in certain organizations to lead the organization. Who is the head of NADMO again?
He's a military man, oh.
I don't. The
Yeah,
one I don't
he's
know
a
him.
military man.
I don't know.
I'm
the
sure
name.
this time around here, after this one, something
Let
will
me-
happen.
Let me see, so that I
But we
can-
have
I
special
can
reason why we
respectfully
take
address-
military.
Okay, but
Is he a military man?
yes,
Yeah, he's a
he's
military
a
man.
major retired
Uh-huh.
Doctor
Oh.
Joseph
Major retired.
Bikani. I hope I got the name correct. Major retired.
Major
Bikani
retired, right?
Hoover.
And he's supported by
But
the.
look at what Google has done. Hey, look at the photo they have put there. As a major, Lizzie can't use the person.
Oh, yeah, so on your photo shoot.
Ah,
She put the Wusu member there.
oh, what's the bumper?
Why?
They don't have a picture.
I don't know his level of expertise.
You know his deputies. Ayensuano, former MP, our very own.
Who's that son MP?
Former Ayensuano MP. This.
Oh, is it Terry?
Terry,
Yeah,
Teddy.
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 So
Yeah.
he has two deputies.
Yes. Teddy is
Teddy
in
is a
charge of
deputy.
operations.
So there's normally operations and admin. I am not in a position to. The major even has a PhD in financial management. Okay, so I'm not in a position to teach him how to go about his job. But
But we
where
can
you are
suggest.
planning consistently for distraction, not him, but the organization, because the organization was not.
Of course.
put
He
together
just came.
yesterday.
Yeah, of
He
course.
just came.
Yeah.
So over the years, the people who have headed the organization before him, what is their level of expertise in management of issues like this? And how does this feed into the bigger national governmental conversation?
Yo.
So that at some point we don't budget money for distraction and its causes, but would rather budget money for the collection of the water.
There's always report, and I have always said that in this country we don't take data and report serious, because I don't know when they started spilling the Bagre
It's
Dam.
been years. I mean, I've been
Yes.
hearing about it since I was a
Yeah.
kid.
Let's say it's been spilled in the last 10 years. What has been the report since the beginning of the spillage of this dam
There's no report.
till now? So let's say if it's 10 years, we've had two governments within that 10 years. 1 8 years and the two for this government. What has been the report? We've obviously not had one NADMO Director General. We've had successive NADMO Director Generals. What has been the report on the table regarding the effects and the impacts of the Bagre Dam?
And what we can do.
And what we can do. The
to take
recommendations
advantage
in
of
the report.
spillage.
Because in every report, when we find the cause, we should get recommendations to deal with the matter. What has been the recommendations?
The document is
Successive governments have been taking the recommendations serious.
missing. The document is missing. We can't find it.
I mean, because if we don't see the
Kwame.
recommendations and they've been acted upon,
It is just.
one of my let me see this. One of our listeners, Babs, I can't remember if it was Babs or somebody else. He made a very important point when we were discussing one of these issues the other time. It looks like leaders in a part of the world, they take advantage of our problems and our issues
distractions, yeah.
to rather milk. Because you see, this thing that is going to be happening there,
People make money out of it.
it's an opportunity for people to make money.
Yeah.
Because they'll buy mattresses, they'll buy food, they'll buy
Yeah.
oil, they'll buy genie, tomatoes,
Yeah.
they'll buy enchini and all of those things and take it there. Go and see that budget.
Yes.
You will
So,
shake.
so
The
if
mattress that is
so if he
the-
does
the
all,
mattress
if he
that they'll buy will
if he
be like
solves all the
like
problem
Maslow
today,
phones. It will be like the Maslow
what
phone.
will he solve tomorrow?
This is the mattresses will be like the Maslow phones. Two
You
cities
understand?
Will, 2
And-
cities will become 10 cities.
And it's so
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah.
Like I don't
Yeah.
get it. I don't understand. Though. That's why I'm asking you that. Is it this? Lizzie has, in fact, done justice to that question. That because I'm asking, is it the same schools they attended
Nanga.
that we? They did the same syllable.
Yeah.
Eh.
And they sat here and spoke about other.
Here they didn't sit. Please, I beg you. Here,
So the likelihood, if you decided to enter
didn't
into
sit
politics, the likelihood
here,
of
they
you
didn't
also
sit here. Wallahi.
turning a blind ears onto. So one day I'll remind you of your own words here. Don't worry.
Wallahi, we will not get there and do this. I'm telling you.
Both
But
of
this
you.
No, but they are-
go and see somebody's
People are causing
traveling is it
change.
traveling bonus for the days that they are going to be spending the Nabu team, the days
Yeah.
that they will be
Yeah,
spending
sure.
out of station allowance,
Yeah.
a DB allowance, risk allowance, will be
The rest allowance. You create your own risk and you want
you
allowance.
allowance here.
Somebody's
allowance for this trip.
I'm thinking that the Northern Regional Ministers, regional ministers up north, and the various MPs, we have
An
the Northern
indictment
Caucus.
of them. Kai.
The Northern Caucus. I think that they've not helped in this matter. I don't know what they've
Is
done.
there anything they have held?
I don't know what they've done so far, but I think that this matter, which affects their people, is something that we
The only
should
place
record.
of all the 5 northern regions that I consistently see a certain level of change is Tamale.
Yeah.
Navungu to an extent. Why? Because of UDS. The Akan.
I think the MPs, the Northern Caucus MPs, I think it's led by Mama Yargo. So, I think they have a lot to do when it comes to the spirit of the Baghdad, because I'm anticipating how people would feel, the impact, the relocation, the settlement of other people, education, health.
Nobody's bothered.
It's
Incidentally, only
serious
last
matter.
week or last 2 weeks, there was a heavy downpour in Busa.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's Busa North or South, because there are 2 constituencies there in the Upper East region.
Upper East region,
and
yeah.
it was devastating.
Yeah.
The level
Yeah.
of destruction. Now they are coming to face part 2.
Yeah.
It's coming. It's a problem. It's a problem.
But they're saying they're not
If we continue like this as a nation, we are not.
But we are continuing.
Yeah.
And we are not
say
going
if.
anywhere.
We are continuing
Yeah.
as a if.
We beg President Mahama that this Bagri Dam issue, what do you want start baby? You should start something on it. Tax certain people, tax NADMO, to put out a blueprint as to how that matter can be dealt with once and for all.
Sujaman.
Yes.
Maybe Sujaman can do something.
But so Jama, we're getting 2 years old. So it means that last year there was a spillage.
I don't know if Sujaman
And they
was
went
there
there.
last year.
And then this year you are going there. So next year. So in all your activities for NADMO, definitely there's one which is constant, Bagri Dam spillage. Every year.
Yeah.
How can we think like this?
Like we are waiting for the floods next year.
Yes.
We are waiting.
Yeah,
of course.
yeah,
We are
yeah,
waiting.
Yeah.
No.
In fact, I'm sure they have plans for next
No.
year. The floods that will come.
It's sad.
Let me celebrate some people and move on.
But Kwame, I have a birthday. Let me wish Aso Sika Fletcher a happy birthday today. It's a great time for her. We wish her well.
Okay.
From all of us, KOJ, Lizzie, yourself, and
I can
myself.
understand why since I came this morning, Lizzie has been smiling and laughing. I feel
It's somebody's birthday.
Okay.
Is it from the ministry?
I understand.
Okay.
Today is the Minister of Foreign Affairs' birthday.
Oh,
And I know Lizzie is a very good
okay,
friend
okay.
of the minister.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
that's
yes,
nice.
yes,
That's
yes,
nice.
yes.
Say, "Nene, Ebenum Kuku." This one,
Imagine
this
back
one
on.
won't be suspended. This one won't be suspended.
Oh, that's nice.
I don't understand. Lizzie has been laughing and smiling since I came to work this morning.
And then on that note, let me
The
say
minister's
good morning
birthday,
to Valentina,
Oh yeah,
our very old
Director of Communications.
Kwame Ochi Junior's
What's the one?
Valentina.
What's
The other I don't know.
the one rapper?
Kwame Ochi Junior's Valentina,
The head of
featuring
communications.
Kwame Kwachi.
Yeah, the head of.
And then, we got someone there.
Stubborn.
And Kwame, let me also say a very good morning to Kwame Siao Boache.
Okay.
He's a very good friend. Of late, certain things have changed about him.
Okay.
And in recent times, he's been dressing more like an MP. I don't know.
He wants to be an MP.
You know, MPs, they have a special way of dressing.
The suits.
Not the suit, oh.
Which one?
You see, kaftans Kaftans.
The Mahama kaftan.
So I'm beginning to wonder. When I ask him, he's also around the Anyaso too. Say, hey, my brother, are you? Then he will laugh.
Jerry Ahmed's place.
No, that's Wejagbawi.
Wejagbawi.
Anyaso too is
Tobin.
Tobin is rather Anyaso too.
Yes.
Anyaso too. Elder Tobin.
Yeah. I don't know whether he wants to come as an MP.
How do you?
Because so Kwame, I'm greeting you this morning.
For which party?
I think he's the umbrella man.
Kwame, today is also the birthday of Deputy CEO of Shipyard, Peter Mensah. Or is the CEO? He's the CEO.
Akwesi Mensah. Okay. Eben has been greeting him every morning.
Yeah. So Peter Mensah, today is your birthday. Happy birthday to you, CEO of Tema Shipyard.
That's right.
Today is a very solid guy. I think he's been on the show before. Today is a very
we'll
solid
meet him
guy.
through Lizzie.
Peter Mensah, today is your birthday. Happy birthday to you. And let me say good morning to Henry Nana Boachi, aka Nana B. Wish you well on your ambition to become the first vice of the new Patriotic Party. I can only wish you well. So good morning to Henry Nana Boachi, aka Nana B, in your quest to become the first vice of the new Patriotic Party.
Me too. Let me say a very special good morning to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, Lizzie's friend.
But I think Ablakwa is very solid. I think he's worked. I think he's worked so hard.
Yeah.
I mean, from the ranking.
So he should be changed.
No.
He's different from those who are ranking in opposition and now have substantive ministerial appointments.
And we can't find them.
Yeah.
And we can't find them.
Yeah.
And are not performing like him. He
Like
was a
who?
ranking
Like
member. I'll mention it. He was a ranking member on the Foreign Affairs Committee when in opposition.
And he got the job.
Doing the job more than when he was a ranking member.
Yeah.
And some too.
Like the minister.
Hey.
I guess
You
said
are the reason
something
why.
when you started mentioning it. Why are you like this?
What does the Minister of Health done?
He was a ranking member on the Health Committee of Parliament. But he's not performing like he was the ranking member when he was a
What do
ranking
you want
member.
to see that you've not seen?
What you saw when he was a ranking member of Parliament.
Yeah, he was making a lot of noise. He was
But why?
putting out
Do you make
stuff.
noise when you are eating?
No.
Oh.
No, do you make noise when you
When
are
you are-
working?
yes.
No, when you are working. So he's doing the work. No.
So he's
He's
observing.
eating.
He's not
Oh,
eating.
why?
He's
Of course,
working.
he's eating.
So he's
What is-
observing
what
table
is-
manners.
Yes.
No, he's working. Kwame,
He's on the table. He's on the table.
So he's working. So what do you want him to do?
That is what the work is. What are you saying?
The job being grounds.
The job the
So
day
let's
ground.
wish Honorable Akujito Ablakwa happy birthday.
That's why we for the empire. Kwame, let me also say a very good morning to the Honorable Dwomoh-agyemang.
Oh, Torino.
Yeah.
Incoming chairman.
Yes, incoming chairman.
You've left him to Miss Camp.
Of course, who to me is in jail? How do you? What kind of situation is this? There's no signs of him coming to Empire. And look at the one. So I have changed camp. I've switched camp.
He has joined the winning team.
Which one is the winning team?
Boache Jaku team. Of course.
Master, you have never supported Boache
I
Jaku.
have
Please,
said this
please.
here before.
Empire.
That I was rooting for Engineer Kwame Dwomoh-agyemang if he had contested.
What is your uncle?
If
And he didn't
he
contest.
had announced, but he didn't contest. And I think that party with NPP or NDC needs astute people, those who have worked from back in the days.
Like Unsumi and Co.
Don't want to be on camera.
Oh, okay.
So maybe
No. See, when you bring that debate of somebody who is worked, you cannot. Don't underrate one to me, please.
Boache Jaku.
Go for it. You
Very
exactly.
very
You say
astute.
yes.
That I think that if the party would be fair and give him the nod to become the national chairman, I mean that's it. I mean it's worth it.
It's up to the delegates,
Of
I
course,
guess.
of course.
So
decide.
September
is
19.
So is Nada Untumi is out, or
Yeah.
am I in a position to say he's out?
Oh yeah. I mean,
Listen, the camp says
the die is
they
cast.
would present
Empha.
Somebody-
Contest the election from jail.
somebody would step in.
Oh, okay. So let's say whoever
What?
that person is,
Yeah.
and then Paula Foko, Torino.
Like they will present someone new. Since Wontumi is not there, the camp would present
Who said
someone
so?
new. From the
Wood to Miss Camp.
that's
And
what
John
they were
Bond.
looking at. I don't know if they still want to go through with that.
I wish them well. Yeah, all the three are party stalwarts. So I wish them well.
Yes,
I wish them well.
And tomorrow we'll come and do something on Polyando and Co. People should accept Polyando. If at Ashanti region, give Polyando the mandate as a regional secretary for the party. I don't know why. That guy is good, Kwame. Me, I'm rooting for him. And Chairman Kukufu.
As what?
Regional chairman.
Oh, so he's contesting Kuka.
Yes.
Okay. The old Kukufu.
The old Kukufu,
MP
former
Bantama.
MP Bantama, and then former CEO for EPA.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
I'm excited for Black Stars player Caleb Yonchi. You know, yesterday he trained with Coventry. I mean, he's playing with Thomas Brandon
Asante, yeah. And their coach is Frank Lampard.
Frank Lampard. And yesterday Lampard was asking him how to pronounce his name. Either call him Yonchi or Caleb.
Caleb should do.
Yeah, I was excited when I was watching that video. And so kudos to the Black Stars. I mean, he's going to play in the English Premier League.
That's right.
Very, very competitive league, which resumes on the 24th of August this month. You know, so our ladies can give us back the remote.
Yesterday I saw your people also landing. Yesterday I was at the airport and I saw your Black Queens Nicodemously passing through some tunnel.
Yesterday, I wanted to touch on it. I think that the GFA and the sports people, you've not helped the women football.
Why we didn't go to play?
No, because the noise we made about the Black Stars, the noise we made about the
AFCON was quite low, very low.
But person me.
World Cup and AFCON.
Oh no, but this is women's football. But when Black Queens, this was African Cup. But when Black Stars is going for African Cup, don't we hear the noise?
We talk about.
We can do same for women football.
Yeah, but we've been talking
when
about.
The Europeans are playing the European women football, I mean, you see the noise, the bars, the support at the stadium. Black Queens were playing. I mean, I couldn't count 10. 2 of Ghana officials who were even at the stadium. But if it was the Black Stars, I'm sure they've not even paid their winning bonus for them.
I'm sure.
They have not.
How did you
It's unfair.
Yeah.
I think it's unfair.
But there's some great talent in there. Because I saw their captain. I love the energy and the zeal of that captain.
What is
fair lady, you know. What's the name?
Fantastic player.
That your number 8 player.
Clocker.
Fantastic player.
Chantal Boy, I think that's.
There's another lady too. I mean, she does skits on social media. Very great player.
Your captain here, Kwame brutal.
Why are we not?
I'm told she's a veteran.
The women's game.
Bibi Boachi, is it Portia Boachi or something?
Yeah, she's been around.
Great
for some
guy,
time, yeah.
great girl. Hey,
The women's game.
Support women football.
The thing with the women's game is, the attractions are not many, to be honest.
Because we have created that platform.
The financial attractions are not there like the guys. So, because obviously people do not. I mean, with a man,
I was
there are a lot of
actually
financial attraction. So people would
but like the European women's football, there are lots of financial attraction as well.
not here.
Because they have deliberately invested in that, but we have not deliberately invested in that. So that's the results we are getting now.
Actually, I actually watched some of your players, but the number 13, the number 5, the midfielder. Hi,
Hey, they came quickly.
Bibi Asantewa. Had a brutal Kwame.
Because we played on Sunday and you had iPod yesterday.
Yes.
Oh wow.
And I saw them. Yellow, and they were just
Early morning.
No, it was in the afternoon around 1.
Wow.
And they're carrying, some of them were wheeling their bags, but where they pass is will be very difficult to see them.
So that's what happens when you lose. Okay. Thank you very much for being a part of this segment of the show and the birthday segments as well. I know you can. When the phone line is activated, you can also call us on 0302208080. 0302208080. It's now time for a piece of my mind. well, just in case you're listening to us for the very first time, A Piece of My Mind is a segment of the show where I share my thoughts on a subject or more and give you an opportunity for you to share your thoughts as well. Or you can reach us on our WhatsApp platform 0500,000 202 0500,000 202. Or you can also find us on our Facebook platform. We're streaming live there. Give us a comment, give us a like, give us a share, and give us a watch. A Piece of My Mind is a segment of the show where I share thoughts that matter to you and me. And this morning I've got quite a number of things that I'm going to be sharing. I'll be brief on the Bagri Dam. I'll be brief on some recommendations by the H-Prempe Committee. And I'll also be very brief about the possible reshuffles and how that's going to be impacting on all of us if they do happen. So let me start from where we ended off with that conversation on the Bagri Dam. This is not going to be the first time it's going to be spilled. In fact, the spillage is not going to be because we want to, but it's because the Burkinabes want to. And we would feel the effects of the spillage. But just like we're discussing, the possibility that it's going to be affecting a lot of people on our side is very high. Farms will be lost, investments will be gone, properties will be damaged, and the list goes on and on and on. Now, this is the worry, or this is the concern for many. Under the previous administration, and here I'm not going to make any comparison. For those of you who want to get into the political thing, you can. I mean, nothing stops you from doing that. But I do recall very strongly that we invested up to 250,000 in every single dam that was supposedly constructed with respect to the One Village, One Dam projects. I am not aware of any one of them functioning at any level. Not one functioning at any level. And the dams that we're going to construct, a lot of people thought that they were dams that were going to be helping us get some power, like we have with Akusumbu Dam. No, not at all. They were literally for farming purposes, so that water will collect in these dams, and then we can use it to farm, especially in the dry season, because it gets very dry in north. Earlier this year, we were having a conversation about tomatoes, and the fact that we have to go all the way on the back of the passing of some of our people. Sadly, in Burkina Faso, we have to go all the way to Burkina. And on the back of that, we got to know that people have been going to Burkina for over 20 years to bring tomatoes to Ghana to come and sell. Not because we cannot cultivate the tomatoes here, but because there are so many periods during the year that unfortunately, as a result of dry conditions, we cannot cultivate these tomatoes up there. So ideally, common sense will tell us, or common sense should let us know, that we can practice a situation where we can collect the water in these dams that we voted money for, keep them, and then use them during the dry season. But sadly and unfortunately, this is not what we are experiencing, and this is not what we're going to be experiencing this year either. What is likely to happen is that we're going to be having a lot of destruction. Farmlands will be gone, properties will be gone, investments will be gone, and the spilled water will just speculate through the soil and will just disappear. Like Doc asked, where are our thinking caps? Where? Because NADMO has been around since. The MPs, the MCs, the regional ministers of those spaces, they have been there since. The spillage has been ongoing for years. Any particular reason why we don't appear to have a plan B or a plan C or a plan D to deal with the situation? So the water should just spill, just like that. Water in itself is a good thing, depending on the plans you have for it. Elsewhere, they are smart about how they take advantage of it. Go to a country like Ethiopia and go and see what they have done to the Nile River. Of course, they have issues with the Egyptians who are not happy with the dam that they constructed. But that dam that they have constructed on the back of the Nile River is going to be generating power to thousands of homes. And today, if you look at the index, Ethiopia is a country that is attracting a lot of investments because they can provide stable power for industrialization. Here, what are we doing? We want to go big on agric. We want to go big on farming. We want to go big on production. As far back as the 60s, we had a Pualugu tomato factory. Kwame Nkrumah had plans to invest into that space with all the dams that were littered there so that we can produce a lot more. We can export some. We can make money. We can produce our own tin tomatoes or tomato puree, if you want to call them that. There were factories as far back as the 60s. Years down the line, what do we see? Sometimes it's look as if we don't work with a plan. And it looks like we are just there and waiting for a miracle to happen. We have the brains to turn things around. But it looks like we only have the brains when we are in opposition. When we find our way to power, it looks like our brains go on a commercial break. And we can't appear to get the simple things right. How are we rather planning to experience the worst rather than taking advantage of the spillage? So today, I'm sure there are NADMO officials in their hundreds over there. A lot of investment would have been made to help with the people and the loss of whatever for today and beyond. Meanwhile, there could have been a plan to deal with that. But sadly, it is what it is. We don't progress with these things. I want to then dovetail that into all of this talk about reshuffle. It's the prerogative of His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama. It's legacy time, like I always say. It's really up to him. If per whatever indicators that he has, the people are performing, so be it. But if they are also performing, everybody would see. Yesterday, one of the things that we did was to take sector by sector. There are sectors, if they are performing, we all have eyes. There are 33 million people in this country. So if you take a ministry like roads and highways, we all have eyes. We can see what the Honorable Governor Kwame Dwomoh-agyemang is doing in that particular ministry. We can see. We can see all the efforts of the Honorable Samuel Okujuto Blakwa. We can see. We can see the efforts of Dr. Kasia Lato Forsen. We can see the efforts of Haruna Idris in the area of education. And we could go on and on and on and on and on. But it's also so obvious that some of them are clearly not performing. It's not up to us to say. But it's so obvious that some of them are also not performing. And it's not just about the non-performance. It's about the fact that this is legacy term for His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama. And he would want to leave with something very special, something that we would be reminded of per the policies that he's going to be implementing. But these policies are going to be implemented by the people he's put in specific positions. As to whether they would excel, we still have another 2 years and 4 months. But we know how things work here. Next year pretty much focused on flag bearer. 2028 pretty much focused on the elections. So if things should be happening, they should be happening now, in my opinion. I'm not in any way saying that somebody should be sacked. Because there are some who are performing. And there are some who are not living up to the very high standards that have been set by His Excellency. I know how the space operates. People who have worked, people who have supported the party in whatever form. So sometimes it's not just about whether these guys are performing, but their contributions to the party when they were also in a position and an opportunity to be rewarded. So even if when the person is not performing, the person is there. Travel around. A lot of the MCs, they are just sleeping on the job. A lot of DCs, they are just sleeping on the job. So what do you expect the ministers to do? They would oversleep on the job. Maybe, just maybe, this is a wake-up call with respect to these reassignments and the new one in the case of Dr. Azanato. But for the others who have been given an opportunity, up your game. Really up your game. Let the locals feel your efforts in your office. For all the great ideas, for all the great meetings that you have in your office, if these plans are not implemented, they stay in your offices. And I don't think you want all of these great plans to stay in your offices. You would want it to be activated. Whatever you do to get it activated and get it today. I just got a message from someone whether the Agric Ministry exists. Of course, it does. The Honorable Eric Opoku is leading that. There's been a lot of conversations around that space, pretty much dominated by Nkukon Kitinkiti. But depending on who you speak to, there are concerns there. There are challenges there. As to whether he is riding the storm, we are here. We are following the progress of all of these things. And that's the thing. Almost every major ministry is leading a major project. So it's very easy to keep trail of those who are performing and those who are not performing. Almost every major ministry, even the relatively quiet ones, are almost always in the news every now and then. So it's relatively easy to keep tabs on your KPIs and whether these ministers are performing or not. We can all see. So for those who are not performing, up your game. Up your game. Then finally, I want to talk about a conversation that we started yesterday about the terms of the presidency. The HBMP committee is recommending 5 years. In our part of the world where we have a lot of visionless leaders who contribute next to nothing to the growth of their countries. 5 years in my country, in my opinion, would not change anything. 10 years may not even change anything. In some countries, months have made a difference on this same continent. A year has made a difference on the same continent. We are always having conversations about what the young man in Burkina Faso is doing. And he's been doing all of these things within a period of 2 years. How is he getting it right? And we are not getting it right. We've had leaders from 1992. What has been the level of transformation? For those of you who were born in 1992 to now, so 34 years down the line, in those 34 years line, have you been impressed with the level of transformation with respect to anything that you would want to look at? From the community you live, the kind of experiences that you've had, you can take in any sector in those 34 years. For those who are relatively older than 34, have you seen the kind of transformation vis-a-vis what you see elsewhere? So for me, it's not about the duration. It's about what you do every single day that would make a difference in the lives of the people. You can get 10 years and you do nothing. The worst part is when you have a very poor leader, and as a result of democracy, there's nothing we can do, but we are stuck with the person. That would be a killer for all of us. So 4 is 4. I know I don't have any power to influence anything. I haven't contracted anyone. It's up to the president and his team to think and decide, and whether he's going to accent to that or whether we'll put it through a referendum or whatever we would want to do. And then we'll decide on how we would go. But that 1 year, in my opinion, will not make any difference. We spend a whole year after an election to do a lot of, for me, what I think can be done in a day. A lot of travels to thank people. Second year, pretty much getting into action. Third year, we start focusing on elections. By the time we get to the final year, crowd year, bobo. So what would those 5 years do? That's my thinking. What would those 5 years do? I won't really change anything. Let's keep it at 4. Come and start working from day 1. Over 1,000 days, you can make a difference in the lives of the people. While the phone lines are activated, give me a call and share your thoughts with me. The number to call is 0302 208080, 0302 208080. Or alternatively, you can find us on our socials, Class 913 on Facebook. We're streaming live there. Or send me a message on 0500,000 202, 0500,000 202. I've got a lot of your messages already, but I would want to start taking your calls, and then subsequently I'll be reading the messages. 0302 208080, 0302 208080. Give me a call and share those very, very strong thoughts with me, or send me a message on our Facebook platform. We're streaming live there. Give me a comment, give me a like, give me a share, or give me a watch there, and we would appreciate that. Or call us on 0302 208080, 0302 208080. We would appreciate your calls so much. Okay, let me take some of your messages that have come in at this time. This one is coming from Joseph in Tema Community 25. You say, good morning, Kwame. I don't know at all how the one dam, one factory fund used by the MPP government for the purposes of solving this issue of opening dams was done. Well, we're here. What we got to know was that 250,000 Ghana cedi was allocated for the construction of every single one of these dams. Meanwhile, when you go up north, you barely see anything. And sadly, no one is being held accountable for the investments, the so-called investments that was made in this. No one is being held accountable. But we sank up to 250 Ghana cedis into every single one of them. Okay, thank you very much, Joe, for your message. This one says, good morning, Class FM. Please, do we have an agric ministry? It looks like that ministry does not exist. Okay, you don't add your name. I'd appreciate it if you add your name to the messages that you send. This one is coming from Francis. You say, good morning. You say, warmly welcome back. I have been here. They see things right when they are in opposition. Vote them into power, and you know that they are empty barrels just making a lot of noise. The Ghanaian politician is just full of PR gimmicks. But you say greetings to Mr. Cephas Amada. He's a Fair Wages and Salaries Commission. Okay, Francis, I appreciate your message this morning. This one is coming from Kwablavi in Pukwasi, Benghazi. Kwablavi says, The Honorable Apenyo Markin shouldn't attack Nanaya Zantua because she was instructed to receive the letter. MPP should stop embarking on needless demonstrations. You go ahead to say. Okay. There's one, Abdul from Sun City, relatively lengthy, but I'll try to read everything that you sent. Good morning, Kwame. As for those service providers at the airports, the least said about them, the better. You mentioned immigration and SEPs. You say these people would intentionally delay you, especially first-time travelers, just to siphon something from you. Okay, maybe you have a personal experience. You say a friend's flight left him through this because he was traveling to Dubai. Okay, you say there was he had to pay what, $100 to someone. Okay, Abdul from Sun City, you send this one. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Abdul, for your message. Okay, people have experiences with some of these things, but you obviously you are you would probably you were there, or you knew somebody somebody who experienced that. You say, as for NADMO, it's an entity in futility, parading as saviors, just drawing money from state coffers. You go on to say, okay, I don't know if you have a bit of challenges with the phone lines, but just keep trying. 0302208080, 0302208080. Give us a call and share those very strong thoughts with us. Okay. Technical. Okay. This one, okay, says, good morning, Kwame. Dr. Kwame Nkrumah is so disappointed in his grave. Lily from Old Ashoman. Oh, he's disappointed every single day. The Ghana he left behind in 1966 and the one that we've inherited in the last 60 years is like we are going in reverse. This one says, Kwame, the statements you made that they have the brains when they are in opposition is in the right direction, because 2 years into governments, the Commander Sugar Factory is still not in operation. Saglemi housing project is still left to rot. And what is so difficult in constructing the Pualugu Dam since independence? May God have mercy on all of us. Mark in Accra New Town, you send those one. Thank you very much, Mark, for sending this one. Yeah, I mean, it looks like, sadly, that is what it is. When our politicians are in a position, they appear to have all the brains in dealing with our challenges. The moment we put them there, it looks like their brains go on a commercial break. So I may say he's only a minister for Akoko Nkiti, because I don't see anything happening there. Flashman in Osu, you send this one. Okay, finally you added your name. You say you don't see much happening at the Ministry of Agric. Okay, this one says, Kwame, I think our father, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, used only 9 years to make a lot of all of this. The leaders of our country in the last 60 years have just taken us many steps backwards. Nelly from Michelle Camp, you send those one. Okay, I'm told we are having a bit of challenges with our phone lines. So for those of you who are trying to call, we apologize. But you can send me a message on 0500,000 202, 0500,000 202. Or if you can go to the extent of sending me a voice note on that same number, I would play that here as well. I understand that we have a bit of challenge with our phone line. So apologies if you're trying to reach us and the call is not going through. But I would appreciate your messages as well on 0500,000 202, 0500,000 202, or to our Facebook platform on Class 913. Look out for us, send us a message, and we'll take it from there. Give us a comment, give us a like, give us a watch as well. Francis comes back to say again how wicked our public officials can be with respect to the Bagri Dam. That is why I keep saying that let us use the God of thunder to deal with them when they are being sworn into office. That is the only way some of them may get to perform. Okay, Uncle Eko is asking, I'll reply to that privately. Uncle Eko, I'll reply to your message privately. Okay. This one says, good morning, Class FM. Kwame, how are you? You say it's been 70 days now and I've not had water. Those of us staying at Sebrepo, Yellow Signboard and Vic Boss, down to the railways, we don't have water. Afi in Michelle Camp, you send one. Hey, that area, do you ever have water? That's a report area because it looks like that's one of the biggest complaints I get from there all the time. The issues with water. I know your routes are bad. That's what that one is legendary. Your routes are very bad as well. Transport is a very big problem. The dust is worrying. I don't know. I don't know. You have an MC, you have an MP. I know JT is your MP, but Salida constituency is just too big. I don't know whether he can be able to attend to all the needs of all of you. But at least there is an MC there. Maybe he can help. PM in Pram Pram, you see, Atache and Godfrey Dami's names are synonymous with hypocrisy. You are in courts on one hand, and you are seeking bail for Wuntumi during a legal vacation. What kind of hypocrisy is this? You go on to say, okay. This one says, hello class, good morning. My name is Kwesi Saki, also known as Kwisak, and today is my birthday. Okay, Kwisak, happy birthday to you on this very special day. I pray that the desires of your heart are met in Jesus' name. You say a big amen to that wherever you find yourself this morning, Mr. Sack. Let me take a few more messages because we can't get through with our phone lines. A big apologies for that. We have a bit of a challenge with our phone lines this morning. Mr. T in Kolegono says, good morning, Class FM. Please, if there is a case and it's about the interest of the states, the lawyer involved can be asked to come to court. Just look at the chambers mentioned and form your opinion. Mr. T in Kolegono. Okay, I get your point. I'm sure it had to do with the issues of legal vacation. So that was my basic understanding all of those years ago, that if the case warrants that it needs to be attended to, even if we are on legal vacation, those cases will be attended to. Good morning, I'm Tony from Shukura. Well said, my people. Dams and reservoirs, this simple thing our leaders say they don't know. We only have people in office just to take salaries without thinking about the good of the people. They don't even think about us. They don't. Forget. Big Fredo, you say, good morning, Kwame. Please, I want to ask you, how long has this spillage been going on? And no one seems to think of a long-term plan to take advantage of the situation. But they are thinking of increasing the presidential. I like this one, Fredo. Yeah, that's why I'm saying it's not needed. Even if it's 2 years, I'm not bothered. Even if it's 2 years. Because if you give them 10 years, nothing will happen. If you give them 20 years, then Kusiaga. So 4 now, we'll go with the 4 now. Because just like you said, this thing has been happening since I was a kid. And all of those years, we've not been able to find an antidote. So we should keep them in office for 5 years or 2 terms of 10 years. For what exactly? We should keep them in office for what exactly? If they can address these very simple things. We've been experiencing the challenges with the rain since you were a child, since I was a child. They've not been able to solve the problem. So what do they need 5 years or 10 years for? Water is not flowing through our taps. Electricity, we can't get it constantly for 24 hours. Jobs, we are not getting. Unemployment is high. Kids have applied to go and work in the security agencies. Their letters are not coming. So what exactly do they need the extension for? I mean, this is my issue. You may disagree with me. It's fine. We can agree to disagree. No water for 3 years in Pram Pram. Okay.
Why are you sure?
Where I live, we didn't have water for many years.
When you are done with the messages,
We didn't have water for many years. So.
I know your politicians are getting ready to come.
Oh, okay.
And address the issues, but we have a letter from. So when you are done with the messages, we have a letter from the Office of the Rent Commissioner.
Oh, okay.
This was dated. In fact, it was just released.
You're going to give us houses to sleep in or what?
Kwame, it's about. Let me see, 5 pages.
Hey.
Kwame, I know what and it entails a lot. So the listeners and landlords, tenants should pay particular attention to this particular release from the Office of the Rent Commissioner. So when you are done with your message, we'll read it for them too, before your politicians come and take the seat.
Okay.
Or you are done?
I've got a few, but you come in with it.
Okay, so let me read
I'm sure
it.
you give us a
I'm
highlights.
sure people will even have commentary. Some
Rent
few
issues.
concepts. Yes, so this is the letter coming from the Office of the Rent Commissioner, Rent Control Department of the Republic of Ghana. It is headed Mandatory Rent Card, Landlord and Property Registration, and Compliance Requirement for Hostel Operators. The Rent Control Department under the Ministry of Works, Housing and Water Resources wishes to inform landlords, property owners, hostel operators, tenants, students, educational institutions, real estate managers, and the general public that the department is strengthening the enforcement of statutory requirements governing the rental sector throughout Ghana. This initiative forms part of the department's broader program to promote transparency, accountability, orderly administration, protection of tenants, and compliance with Ghana's rent laws. The acting rent commissioner hereby announces the following mandatory compliance measures. So they should listen. 1. Mandatory issuance and maintenance of rent cards. The department reminds all landlords that the issuance of rent card is not a new administrative requirement, but a statutory obligation imposed by Ghana's rent laws. Under Section 21 of the Rent Act 1963, Act 220, every landlord of premises let on a monthly or shorter tenancy is required to issue the tenant with a rent card within 7 days after commencement of the tenancy. The card must contain, among other particulars, the name, the address of the landlord, the name and address of the tenant, and amount of recovery rent. Similarly, Section 5 of the Rent Control Law 1986 PNDC Law 138 requires landlords of residential accommodation covered by that law to issue rent cards to their tenants and furnish the relevant rent and housing committee, that's the Rent Control Department office, with a list of tenants and actual rents paid. The department will accordingly intensify enforcement of these statutory obligations. With effect from 17th August 2026, any landlord or property owner seeking services from the Rent Control Department shall be required, where applicable, to demonstrate compliance with the statutory rent card requirement. So they should note 17th August 2026. Where a landlord is unable to provide statutory evidence of issuance and maintenance of the required rent card, the department may decline to process or provide the relevant administrative service until the statutory obligation has been regularized, subject to the applicable law and administrative procedures. Landlords are therefore strongly encouraged to ensure that every qualifying tenancy under their management is properly documented and supported by the required rent card. 2. Mandatory registration and tenancies and property information. So it goes on to say that this is also captured in the Section 4.1 of the PNDC Law 138, requiring landlord residential accommodation to which the provision applies to register every lease or tenancy agreement with the Rent and Housing Committee, that's the rent control, within 14 days of entry into the lease and or tenancy agreement. So it goes on and on and on and on, and then says that according to all landlords and owners of rental properties within the jurisdiction of the Rent Control Department are required to regularize their registration and property information with department in accordance with the procedure, and urge all landlords this one to there's a timeline. All landlords, including private hostel operators, to meet this requirement by 30th November 2026. Kwame, the third one is that hostel operators and landlords for rent control compliance purposes where the law applies. So it goes on and on and on and on to say that hostel operators shall therefore be required to maintain proper records showing, among other matters, the identity and contact details of the hostel operator and landlord, the location and particulars of the hostel property, identity of the student, each student tenant, the accommodation occupied by the student, the rent or accommodation fee payable, the commencement and duration of the tenancy, the applicable. It goes on and on and on and on and on and on. Kwame. The fourth one is that non-compliance constitutes a legal matter. And so Section 16 of the PNDC Law 111 makes it an offense, among other things, to infringe Section 4 or fail to issue a rent card in accordance with Section 5. And so people should take note that now there will be more legal issues if you decide to go and disrespect the laws of the rent control department, i.e. the laws of the country. This is a compliance and tenant protection measure, and so people should take note. The last one is call to landlords, property owners, and now he's saying that the rent control department hereby calls on landlords, property owners, estate managers, and hostel operators to, one, issue the prescribed rent cards to qualifying tenants. Ensure the rent cards are properly completed and maintained. Register applicable leases and tenancy agreements with a statutory period. Within the statutory period. Regularize their landlord property and tenancy information with the department. Maintain accurate records on tenants and rent received. Cooperate with rent officers and authorized inspectors during lawful compliance exercise. And the last one, comply with all applicable provisions of the Rent Act 1963 Act 220, PNDC Law 138, and any other relevant laws and regulations. And so, Kwame, the conclusion part is that the Rent Control Department calls on all stakeholders in Ghana's rental sector to support these measures. A properly documented rental market is essential to fairness, accountability, effective dispute resolution, tenant protection, and reasonable property management. The department therefore urges all proprietors and hostel operators to take immediate steps to ensure full compliance with applicable statutory requirements. The Rent Control Department remains committed to ensuring a rental sector that is fair, transparent, accountable, orderly, and responsive to the needs of both landlords and tenants. This is a sign by the acting rent control, the acting rent commissioner of the Rent Control Department, Mr. Frederick Opoku. So,
Okay.
we have deliberately taken our time to go through the entire provisions and the letter as we had it just a short while ago. And so people should just comply. This country, there are laws. And so people should just fall in line. So that
you need a yellow card.
is actually the red card is actually red.
Okay.
It has that.
Okay. Me,
So-
I'm interested in the fair part of the fees. Yeah. Because the students are going to go back to school
Exactly.
very soon, and
Exactly.
the hostel fees will shoot through the roof.
Exactly.
So if something can be done about it,
Eh.
you know, in a part of the when you complain about some of these things, you won't get support.
At
Because
all.
some parents can afford to pay, so even if it's 1 billion, they don't care.
Exactly.
But majority too are hustling, but they won't speak. And then they'll rather end up looking for dubious means to look for the money to pay their fees for what they
Exactly.
want. So
Exactly.
start shouting.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't
Exactly.
understand why. Yes, I mean, you can say that a lot has changed, but I mean, when I was in a year, I remember first year at Legon, my fee. I wasn't in a hostel. I was in a traditional hall. I paid. It was less than 200 cedis. Probably a little over 100 cedis, or maybe even less than 100 cedis. I remember by the time I got to final year, it was less than 400 cedis, and even that one, it was because it was affairs. It wasn't direct. It was that one. It was because it was affairs.
Yes.
I had to go through somebody before I got the bed. So if I had gotten myself, probably would have paid around 200 and
Yeah.
something, maybe thereabouts. Yes, people were paying some high fees because at the time, most of these hostels were relatively new. So I remember when I got to Legon, it was only pens, the old pens. Then the new pen started. Then they constructed Barney, Evandi. Even at that time, all of these new hostels around the UGMC area there, that's Jean Nelson and Liman,
Yes.
and they were not there. It was all bush. There was nothing there. UGMC was not there. So I think when I got to maybe 30 or final year that they started the construction of, those
Yeah.
buildings. And from that time, I hear the fees have just been crazy.
Very
How are you
crazy.
charging 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 per person? Four in a
it's-
room.
it's
That's
crazy.
24,000 for just 4 months.
Yeah.
I mean, go high down.
It's serious.
Like,
It's serious.
I don't know
People
what
should
goes
understand
into
that
arriving at those fees.
The efforts of this rent commissioner is not because he wants to hound anybody. Just that he's looking for that fairness and compliance to the rules of the game, as enshrined in the regulations and the laws
10,000
of the renting.
for
It's
hostel
crazy.
fees.
So I'm sure in the coming days we'll even get the commissioner himself into the studio
Oh, of course, why not?
throw more light on some of these things. So I know you are getting ready. So your politicians are ready now. So
okay.
maybe if you
Let me
want
take
to-
some messages and then
Yes,
maybe they can
okay,
come in and then we
exactly.
can start a conversation as well. Kwame, good morning. Why does Ghana Water Company want to play with our feelings? See, the truth is one. They are finding it difficult to treat our water because of galamsey activities. But as usual, Ghana treating basic needs as politics. Ima from Dowenya, you send this one. Ima, it's not easy. This one says, I come back again, bro. You journalists must help us in this country retrieve all the funds allocated by the previous government for specific executions, but never done. If we don't do that, the trend will continue. Joseph from Tema Community 5. Yeah, we'll shout, we'll scream, we'll say all that we have to say. But there are agencies that are directly responsible for going after these individuals who have literally blown government money. Yeah, literally, yeah. And I am saying that, with a lot of pain. We spent 250,000 Ghana cedis on those mushrooms we call dams in the northern parts of this country, and nobody has been held accountable. There was a Ministry of Special Initiatives or whatever it was called, and God knows how many dams they claim they constructed in the name of one village, one dam. Nothing has happened to anybody. Nothing. Not even accountability. But what do you expect? David Sena says, area boys, these MPP guys and the GBA are not serious. Is it the first time a vacation courts have sat? Anyway, the Untumi appeal case has been fixed for hearing during the legal break. If they like, they should boycott the hearing. Okay, David Sena says so. Mesha Kasanti in Amasamai. Okay. Oh, Mesha. I'll read your message. Give me a second. My machine is messing up, but give me a second. I'll read your message very shortly. You say that the appointment of the Honorable James Galga. Okay, you are interested in that one, I can see. You say that the appointment of the Honorable James Agalga as majority leader is in the right direction, and it's giving the Honorable Apenyo Markins sleepless nights. The Honorable Mahama Yariga has done excellent work so far, and Agalga will top it up, you say. Okay. Aaron Babako Kokomisa, you say the upcoming inaugural African Festival of Arts, Culture and Creative, AFESTAC, holds immense promise for the continent. I believe that this landmark event would create job opportunities, nurture infant industries, and foster a strong spirit of entrepreneurship across Africa. Okay. My brother Eben from Kobinya sends me a message. Good morning, I'm Eben from Kobinya. Let me commend the Vice President, Professor Nana Opoku-Agyemang, for letting the MMDCs know whether they will be promoted or demoted. Some of them are doing well. Some too are sleeping on the job. I think they have to go, period. And greetings to the Honorable Julius Debra. Hey, Eben, you didn't know that today was Mr. Peter Kwesi Mensah's birthday? Or you were going to call and tell us? And my MC, of course, the Honorable Agbo of Ghana East, you're also celebrating your birthday today. Kwame, good morning. Please, those excuses for the change to 5 years are so useless. Obama was US president as a black man and did perfectly well within 4 years. That made the citizens give him another 4. A focused president would rather have a national thank you press conference rather than waste taxpayers' money just to tour the whole country to say thank you. I stand against the 5 years term. Albi, you send this one. Albi, I support this statement with 2 bags of kinky. I do understand that thing. Spend months to go and say thank you. Do a press conference and say thank you once and start working from day one. It won't spoil any soup. Okay, I guess the chairman of the Committee on Defense and Interior is the Honorable James Agalga. Yes, but now that he's been given a majority leader's position, I'm sure probably someone will be given the opportunity to take over. Uncle Eko in Tema comes back again to say the second Mahama administration has not introduced any new rent control laws. The rent commissioner is only enforcing the existing laws so that no property owner must tag or attack the Mahama administration. Yes, I mean, that's the case. I mean, it's just a case of trying to get the laws to work again. Okay, my brother Faisal Banjili has joined me in the studio. We'll be expecting our other friends to join us in the studio this morning to discuss the issues that do matter to you. And this morning we've got quite a number on our plates. Let me just run you through the topics that we're going to be discussing on the show this morning. We'll be looking at the reshuffle. There are some who say it should be coming thick and fast. There are some who say that others are performing and should be given an opportunity. We'll discuss that. We'll look at the MPP's comments with respect to democracy being under attack and matters arising from there. We'll also look at the lawyers for the former appointee standing trial opposed to court hearings and legal vacation, and then we'll look at the new Cocoa Board bill with the minority urging the president not to sign this into law. Faisal, salam alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi, brother Kwame.
Yeah, I hope all is well.
Everything is okay.
We thank God. We thank God. We thank God. Faisal, let's get into the issues right away. Let's start with your party. Let's start with your party because I mean, since the last time we were here, you are not gone for the demonstration yet.
Yes.
And since last week Thursday, I've heard leading members on your team ramp up, the comments surrounding democracy being an attack and your reservations about how appointees of your government at the time, according to you, are being hounded for their actions or inactions. You had the opportunity to go for the demonstration. You made your thoughts very clear. What again are your challenges?
Yeah. Thank you very much, Kwame, for the opportunity. And let me also say good morning to your cherished listeners. The demonstration went very well, in the sense that there was a massive massive turnout by ordinary Ghanaians who somewhat identify with some of the concerns the New Patriotic Party and other political forces within the national political divide. So those issues are still very much with us, and in a democracy, democratic institutions like political parties are established to kind of give voices to the other side of the divide, give voices to the ordinary people in the country and on the streets. So it was an opportunity that, looking at what has happened in the past almost 2 years under the current dispensation under President John Mahama, I mean, we realized that, democracy was under attack. There has been serious issues with freedom of speech, whereas even people, TikTokers, and people just make some harmless comments, and at the end of the day, they are invited, charged for some.
Did you say the comments are harmless?
Harmless, yes.
You think so?
Because I have a feeling that we are in a democratic country.
It doesn't mean you should say what you like.
I'm coming.
Yeah.
I'm coming. So these are rights that are enshrined in our constitution.
Correct.
And a lot of people have enjoyed, including the current president, calling people Achim Sakawa. That can be a fair comment. That's an insult. Nobody was arrested. Some members of his government and his party were equally, saying certain things that if it is repeated today, they will be visited and their sleeping place might be changed for them. So those are the issues we are raising. We are living in we elected as Ghanaians to practice democracy. And in a democratic dispensation, freedom of speech is allowed. You understand? Freedom of speech is allowed, although it should be responsible. But who determines that? If what was responsible yesterday, what has happened? That suddenly those things that we considered fair comments in the past, today, are kind of criminalized. So those are the issues we are talking about. And as I told you, in a democratic dispensation, when things like this begin to happen, it is the right of political parties and other interest groups to come out, air it, let the world know what is happening in the country. But to just keep mute over it, where people are being arrested, people, are hounded here and there, it is important for us to raise those issues. And one of the other issues that the leaders of the demonstration also raised has to do with selective justice. And we are saying that this is a government that pretends it is coming to fight corruption. And when it came, all the cases that was pending in the court, they have filed nulli prosequi to free all NDC appointees who were standing trial under the elsewhere administration. And now, every now and then, they go to arrest past MPP government appointees and bring about these strange bail conditions just to ensure that those people stay in jail for some time before they are able to secure bail for themselves. And I'm saying that, you see, we cannot live in a country like that. Recently, when Madame Sedina Tamakulu was extradited, there was this story in town that she was actually not in prison. She was given a safe place to stay. You understand? And this is a lady who was convicted by a high court. Although at the end of the day, the appeals court overturned that. And that our leaders raised concern that it looks like there is some executive interference in the judicial system of this country. And those are some of the issues we are talking, because you cannot say that all NDC appointees who were standing trial, strangely, were being politically persecuted. And Kwame, I have told you, myself and you, we have had this discussion. I'm saying that looking at the nature of our politics, will you be surprised 2029 if Dr. Bawumia is elected, inshallah, and some MPP activists also indicate that the past administration freed all their people who were standing trial. Why are you going to keep these people in court? And these actions like this destroy the fight against corruption and bribery in society. You understand? So those are some of the issues there. We also raised issues, like when you are talking about interference, like the case of Sedna Tamakulu, and also the dismissal of the Chief Justice of this country. And I told you some other time that apart from President Kwame Nkrumah, it's only President Mahama who has removed a Chief Justice. Even when President Mills came under Georgina Wood as Chief Justice,
under the administration of, so that it doesn't look like the president has removed the Chief
But this was a campaign promise. We were all in this country. Recently, when the national chairman of...
you ever heard the president say, when I'm elected into office, you said it was a campaign promise, so I'm taking you on your word. I don't recall President Mahama mounting any platform anywhere to say that we will kick the woman out.
Coming events, they say.
This might be the opinion of some members of the party. It doesn't mean it is the position of the party.
Let me just explain something to you.
Yeah, please do. Please do.
I heard the interview of the chairman of Mr. Asidun Ketia.
You were sitting here. He came to sit where you are sitting.
He's going to be their flag bearer because it appears the only one.
You're a delegate in their party as well. Because you say it appears, so maybe you're a delegate in their party.
It looks like other people are finding it difficult because they are
Who knows?
not sure,
maybe Nana Sefa would even declare. I don't know.
The interest of the president recently said that they are not going to reset the Electoral Commission because 2 deputies, one has retired and one has also resigned. So these people came with an agenda to kind of interfere with independent state institutions. So the Chief Justice was sacked.
Could we have said same under your watch under your watch, Madam Charlotte Osei?
Charlotte Osei's issue was an implosion. They were there accusing each other of corruption.
And this one was
manipulation.
an explosion.
This one was an external attack of a independent democratic institution. Yes, and
The EC is not a democratic institution, independent democratic institution.
It is. The EC, it is.
How different was it?
Yeah, so I'm saying that this is not something that was part of an MPP agenda. But I'm saying that before this election, we were told that if they come, they will go after the Chief Justice. They will go after the EC leadership. Now, I'm saying that contrast that to the leadership of President Mills. When President Mills came, there was a lot of calls for him to kind of facilitate the termination of the appointment or the sacking of Madame Theodora Wood. You understand? Each time it came up, he said no. I don't know, maybe because of his legal background, but this is something like a stain on the record of President Mahama. Because like I told you, after almost 70 years of independence, it's only Kwame Nkrumah, and we all know that Kwame Nkrumah was a dictator, so he could do some of these things. So is it that President Mahama is also becoming a dictator, that he will fall for things like this? Because my point is that right now, looking at the polarized nature of our political system, when MPP wins, inshallah, in 2009,
You go on a sacking spree.
yeah. Now, you also have people who will say that, this Chief Justice, they will catalog a lot of issues. Say that, why don't we also petition? I mean, why don't we also petition to get him removed?
You think it's a proper tangent to go?
My point is that, when if you watch if you read the proceedings leading up to the removal of the Chief Justice, you had some previous Chief Justice who came to testify in her defense and said that all these issues that they have raised, they've all been beneficiaries of it. So I am saying that if the government is willing and intending to do it, they will necessarily find ways and means to get out the Chief Justice. And that is my point. My worry is that this democracy that we have accepted to go by, we should all do everything to build it. We should all do everything to ensure that it grows. But we cannot accept situations like this and just keep quiet. That is why the demonstrators came out to indicate that there's some executive interference in the affairs of some independent democratic institutions. And I'm all for that. We should stop it, or else, I mean, the next reset may not augur well for this country. Just like we are not happy with what is going on. And I am saying that next government, some hawks, they also decide that this thing happened under President Mahama and the NDC administration. We also need to do it.
That's why I respectfully ask if this is a right tangent for at least since 1992. It's been either you or them.
Yeah.
So is this a tangent that we should be encouraging? You come in, you butcher everyone in your path. The other one comes in, you butcher everyone in your path. Is that a tangent we should be going?
That's why some of us were thinking that President Mahama would exercise some caution, not to fall for the demands of the hawks within his party, because this thing is standing in his name. And as I told you, he is not the first. Even President Rawlings, who shared off his military attire and came as a civilian government, never did that. He never facilitated the removal of any Chief Justice. President Mills came, and I can still.
You're not accusing President Mahama of personally facilitating the removal of Madame Tokonu.
Well, that's my feeling. That's my feeling. That's my feeling. That's my personal feeling. That if he had wanted to stop it, he could have done so. If he wanted to do it, he could have done so. Because
it was about the law. What would the president have done?
If you accuse someone of something, and at the end of the day, her predecessors set up a committee and they came to testify that this thing is a normal practice. We've all enjoyed that. So why do you hang her because she has enjoyed something that has been available for everyone?
Please land on this for me.
So for me, I think that if we want to kind of grow our democracy to an enviable level, things like this, leaders should be able to avoid them and And if we avoid them, definitely it's going to, our democracy is going to be a shining example for people outside Ghana.
Okay, let me introduce my brother from the other side of the political divide, Nana Sefakisi. He's with the NDC communication team, and he's also looking for a position. He's an aspiring communications officer for Tema West. That's our lawyer Joshua Enu's place.
Very well,
Yes.
that's correct.
He wants to be.
That's correct.
So delegates over there, you know what you have to do. Me, I don't have one CD for you. I'm being honest with you. But please vote for my brother. He's young, so don't make demands on him. We beg. How many delegates are your place?
We are running into a little below 3,000.
Eh?
Yeah.
Hey, we have to go for a loan. No?
A very big one.
A little below 3,000.
Yes.
How do you have so many delegates in your area like that?
Because of, electoral, we have about 11. We have 11 electoral areas, and within there are several 9 executives. Some will come up to 40, 50, some 100. So, if you do the multiplication, in fact, it was just one of the ways the NDC tried to expand the base to allow a lot of people to vote from the branches. So, we'll manage. We'll manage.
Anyway, that's on the lighter side. Now, you've had your brothers from the other side of the political divide. I mean, since their demonstration last Thursday, they've been on virtually every airwave you tune in the weeks before that, and even the days after. It's 5 days after the demonstration, but they are still very hard on that particular tangent. I mean, Faisal has mentioned a number of things as to why they think, or they are of the opinion, that democracy is under attack. What will be your response to the issues that not just him, but the party has also raised?
Okay, Kwame, thank you very much, and,
Sure.
and good morning.
Good morning.
Let me say a very good morning to my constituents as well, Tema West, and like you rightly mentioned, Honorable James Senu is also doing a very good work, and I'm sure we'll come to the reshuffle bit, which I have a plea to make to the president, because we need our MP to also get some huge slots, but we'll come.
Is it VRA board or something?
No, gaming commission. That's
Gaming
where
commission.
he is.
He's a board chairman
yes,
there.
Yes, please. That's where he is now. So.
But he wants proper minister job.
In fact, because there's history, because Tema West predominantly has been a blue zone.
Yeah.
Save for 92. The last time we won was just current
That's
election.
right.
So sometimes this orphan constituency, how I want to put it, if we don't get your MPs with some good ministerial position to do what
We'll
they
get
want to
there.
do.
We'll get there.
So
let's
that's
do the
fine.
democracy
That's
issue
fine.
first. Yeah.
Okay, Kwame, thank you very much. I've heard my brother, and I think he has made some points. And over the weekend, I've listened to some of them as well, and even monitored their demonstration. For me, it's just an exercise in futility. Yes. Absolute.
That's harsh.
No. I will demonstrate that. And
Please do.
the claims they've made is basically bogus, and I think it was a bit to just reincarnate some the dead political career of some field executives who are going for another bid. So it's just to shake the base a bit.
They got the numbers there. Oh.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, that it was a bit to reincarnate dead political careers. So obviously, but let's deal with the substance of what they went for. Basically, what triggered it will be even to me is conviction, and then Sedinam. It was up at the back of Sedinam that they went on this demonstration. Then they also made mention about some arrest of some TikTokers and basically that. So these are the three main things that they are looking, and as well
CJ and a few
the
others.
judiciary, the judiciary. So let's take it bit by bit. Democracy under attack. Basically, what is democracy? When I attended my basic school, social studies, they told us what is democracy. Democracy what? For the people, of the people, and by the people. Basically, you understand. So now, what we are looking at is that in any democracy, there are some basic tenets that you match it against to see whether democracy is actually working. You look at the supremacy of the law. You look at independence of the judiciary. You look at freedom of the press. You also look at rule of law. You look at whether fundamental human rights are being protected under the state. Then you come to the conclusion, among others, even transfer of power, even multi-party democracy. You look at all these things to say that indeed democracy is existing in a particular country. Let's take, for instance, the issue about CJ removal, which my brother just mentioned, about CJ removal. To them, there shouldn't be any instance whereby the head of an institution or an arm of government can be removed. And it's shocking to me because the constitution is very clear. Even the president can be impeached and removed from office. And it will be a very dangerous thing to say that a particular arm of government cannot be removed. And in the wisdom of the framers of the constitution, they set out how a person can be removed. And the process was done. And in fact, even if you claim not to go with the decisions of the Supreme Court on this matter, at least ECOWAS Court has come through for us. I hope the NPP is not saying that by the stretch of their own imagination, President Mahama is also managing the ECOWAS Court. It will be a shock to us. So, democracy in terms of the judiciary, I'm surprised. Today, they themselves are in court. They are in court. And for me, the same people who say that somebody has been acquitted and discharged based on appeal that the person has filed, they have a problem. Today, they are in court on Wontumi. The question every reasonable person will want to ask is that what is the outcome that you want in terms of Wontumi's case? Is it that the appeal should be dismissed? I don't believe so. Yesterday, I listened to Atach making some good points to his mind that Wontumi should be acquitted. And in fact, they are even going for what? Bail pending appeal. They are using the judicial system. Nobody has blocked them out. Nobody has blocked them. Pandai, you remember, they went to the court. We believe as a political party that there should have been a rerun. They went, High Court gave a decision. They ran to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court overturned it. So what are we saying about the judiciary? What else can we say about the judiciary? And I'm surprised that they themselves are bastardizing the judiciary as we speak now. In the last regime, they were the praise singers of the judiciary. What has changed? What has changed? Afenyo-Markin himself, leader of minority, was the one person.
Their decisions have changed.
Their decisions? Okay. Okay. So when they were having the good decision, and I tell you, Afenyo-Markin was the one person who has been able to file a case same day, gotten judges to say same day, judgment released same day. Nobody has done it in this Fourth Republic. I don't believe, even prior to independence, we've had that before. In fact, if you go to the Supreme Court and how they practice, Fridays they do not sit. Afenyo-Markin got them to sit. If you file, you go to the registry, they have to now send it to the CJ. CJ will now sit, assign judges, they will send a brief to them. Now they have to review before. Everything was done within the space of hours. At that point, democracy was not under attack. But now that you are even getting favorable decision, that you are even using the court system to as it were, get Wontumi off the hook, you claim democracy is under attack. My brother, let's just proceed to look at media freedom as he claims. Some people have made certain comments, right? What are some of the comments? Some of the things we cannot, my brother cannot even repeat it here. For someone to say that, oh, I'll behead the president, the wife, put them in a sack, that cannot be free speech. In fact, Article 12 is very clear that fundamental human rights are to be protected. But 2 says that it is limited. It's not at large. Otherwise, we'll do everything and everything. My brother is having a very beautiful phone. I will just take it from me and go home and sleep. You see, if you claim that the media, and we have several examples within their own regime. At that time, democracy was not under attack. Your own media, your own brother, Bobi Ansah, was arrested for what? Speaking. Was democracy under attack?
What did he say?
Very well. Exactly what I wanted you to say. Now, you see, you failed to mention that in your summation as to what they said. Now, I'm pointing several examples. Now, you're asking me what they said. So, for me, it's very clear that if you are discussing some of them, let's unpack it. What did the person say? If you say Muhammad's head is big, you can say that and go home and go and sleep. You can say Muhammad is incompetent. In fact, Baumia even labeled him as such. Nobody complained. There have been several insults. You made mention of Achim Sakawa. Before Achim Sakawa, there's Professor Doolittle by Akufo-Addo.
That's an insult.
That's not an insult.
It's not an insult.
You do little, you don't do much.
Opposition
Isn't that-
leaders
isn't
say
that
that you don't do much.
Like you don't do
Professor-
much. I expect a lot from
No.
you.
He is attacking the person. It's a professor. It's not like, oh, the president is not doing much. You can say that. That's what I'm saying. But to say Professor
And the
Doolittle.
president was a professor.
Professor.
Okay, very well.
No, I'm
Very
just because you use
Very
that
well.
example.
Very well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in fact, Mama used that in context. Achim Sakawa, what was he saying? The president was from there. What was he saying? You give promises, you do not.
Person.
No, you see, now you want. You see,
I'm asking you.
no, so I'm saying that he used that in a context to say that you give promises, you don't fulfill them.
Sakawa is a deceitful person. or-
Yes, yes.
Okay.
It's language. We all use it, and and it's. Anyways, let me just skip that. I wanted to give the
For
Katira
both of you,
example.
for both of you,
And-
if you don't mind, for both of you, at what points do we, me sitting here, I've been able to say whatever I want to say in the last 3 hours since I started doing the program.
Exactly.
But me sitting here as well, with the training that I've had, sitting in the classroom and the years on the job, I know where to draw the line.
Exactly.
At what point do we make everybody appreciate where to draw the line? Because what I get, unfortunately, from not the two of you sitting here, but as in the two political parties,
Yeah.
depending on who is speaking,
Yeah.
sometimes you get the impression as if when you shout the loudest and you say with the greatest of respect the unprintable things, then you become very popular. And it looks like that has been a tangent for some time.
Yes.
The people who use those harsh, unprintable words, people like maybe yourself and Faisal, who are very decorous, nobody will hear about you.
Exactly.
But when you use unprintable words within a very short time, then you become popular.
become the
And
star.
unfortunately,
Yeah.
you see a lot of party folks edging the person on.
Yes.
Why?
Yes, yes. I mean, that is why we are where we are now. That is why we are. And in fact, we should even be applauding the current regime to try to sensitize the system. Based on, like you said, my brother here has said a lot of things which is not favorable to the NDC. He will go home and sleep.
Well,
Nobody-
Because he
Nobody-
hasn't used unprintable words.
Nobody will arrest
I
him.
have my pillow in my car.
Oh.
You sleep in your car.
Yeah,
No.
I may not come back.
No.
Don't mind
No.
Faisal.
I won't mind him. I won't mind him. In fact, so many examples can be given. Even your own media people. Zoya Bubedu was changed from national security right to City FM to arrest her. Caleb Ibrahim Latif, Hope Senadoye. You see, we can give several examples, but for me, the good thing is that let's look at what they said and let's unpack it. If you do it en bloc, you can say anything and everything that you want to say. Like you rightly said, where do we draw the line? Then there will not be, at that point, that is when you can say that democracy is under attack. It's only at that point that you can say democracy is under attack. Let me give other examples in terms of democracy being attacked. They walked freely to the Jubilee House to deliver their petition against whatever the minority leader said to Nana Jantua. Before then, 37 military hospital was even a security zone. You don't go past it. Democracy have Oliver and his people were arrested. They were brutalized. They were kept on remand for months before they were released. For what? Demonstration.
Car key.
Demonstration.
Was it the one who took the police car key?
Oh, I thought you would be saying that all of them who were arrested. No, I thought you were saying all of them who were arrested took the car key. All of them took the car key. And in fact, if you take a car key, what happens to it?
Police car key.
In fact, some females, Felicity Nelson, they were just by the roadside. They were arrested for democracy. Old woman, and the
Felicity has been rewarded handsomely.
Please, let me just make my voice. Thank you. All these people were arrested based on what? Demonstration. Today, you have the luxury of going to the Flagstaff House and even go and flaunt yourself and make certain comments which ordinarily you will not even get. We didn't get this opportunity under them. Parliament on the 7th December was invaded by what? By military. That is democracy under attack. How on earth do you allow the military to walk into Parliament? In fact, if you remember, Manasseh Azuri, they said under Ekufa. In fact, Manasseh had to leave this jurisdiction for his safekeeping. Manasseh was the fiercest critic of John Dramani Maham's first regime. He never left this country. He left this country under your regime, under the Akufo-Addo Bawumia-led regime. In fact, there are some statesmen who spoke, which ordinarily you will not even expect them to be saying that. Sir Sam Jonah, how many times have you heard him saying, making statements about governance? He said the culture of silence is returning under Akufo-Addo and Bawumia. Sir Sam Jonah, even if you don't take politicians away because you want to do, Sir Sam Jonah doesn't do politics in this country. He said it straight. He said it to them that the culture of silence is back under Bawumia's regime. In fact, Bawumia, yes, Bawumia Akufo-Addo.
Okay.
Oh, in fact, the last
You
year,
only mentioned Bawumia.
no. In fact, the last year of Akufo-Addo's regime, he checked out. When they asked him question, Mr. President, I said you should go and follow Bawumia, who is coming to be the new to solve the problem. He checked out a year before. Oh yes, you've not heard that.
Okay, so
I believe you not hear.
Let's not.
I believe you not hear that.
We know who the leader was, so let's go ahead.
Thank you. So, under Bawumia, Kwame Dwomoh-agyemang was picked up by criticizing Rebecca Akufo-Addo and Bawumia's wife, Samira. He was picked up. Bongo ideas, up to now, we don't even know which security agency picked him up. Listen to his story, you will cry. At that point, democracy was not under attack. Under Bawumia Akufo-Addo regime, democracy was not under attack. You see, when we say some of these things, sometimes it's good now the Ghanaian, the voter is becoming wiser by the day. They'll put some of these things together and now make their own judgment. Where it was restricted, people were beaten. Occupy Julubi House, they were beaten. Today, you walk freely. And they had a fanfare. You could see it on radio and TV. You could hear all that they were saying. Having fun, dancing. And John Dramani Mahama did not have a problem with that. In fact, he even have to send a presidential staffer when they clearly knew that it was a one-year observance of fallen heroes of the state. They did not do that, but rather they chose to do something else. So for me, Kwame, democracy under attack.
Please
If it was not under attack within the Akufo-Addo Bawumia regime, definitely it cannot.
Let me still stay with you because these issues are also some way somehow have found its way into the political space. Ideally, in my opinion, it shouldn't even be. The bit with lawyers for former appointees standing trial being opposed to court hearings on legal vacation. I'm sure you've listened to the comments of the GBA boss,
Yes.
Madame Gatti. I've also spoken to a few lawyers with respect to this particular issue. My understanding from what the lawyers are, I mean, I'm not a lawyer, so that's why I'm quoting them. My understanding from what they are saying is that depending on the nature of the case, even during this legal vacation period, the case can still be heard. So it is not like as if when there is a legal vacation for that 3 months or 2.5 months or so, everybody goes on commercial break. But for whatever reason, it's ended up in the political arena again. Because the people or some people who are in court at this point appear to be politicians. At what point are we going to detach politics from practically everything? I start this with you as well.
I think the only point we'll get to whereby we'll detach some of these things is when the MPP collapses as a political party, and maybe get the CPP to be the largest opposition party. And I mean what I say. What's this whole issue? And thankfully you've hit the nail right there. What's the issue? There's legal vacation. Fair. Majority of courts will not sit. In fact, I also made some research, spoke to some judge and some senior lawyers, and they say that previously it was just the circuit court and the district court that was working. But under CJ Wood, Madam Georgina Wood, she then created that at least the High Court, some of them should be sitting, and she created the vacation court. Often what they deal with was what we call interlocutory matters. Maybe there's a bill application, some interim application motions here and there. Often they do not deal with substantive matters. But that does not mean that they've not done that before. Like you rightly said, based on the issue at stake,
that's what the
CJ, yes, and that is correct. The CJ can issue a warrant to a particular judge, sit. If the judge says that I cannot sit, or based on health issue or something, then that's fair. But if the judge is willing to sit and a warrant has been issued, we cannot shut down the whole High Court. We cannot do that. So the judge is sitting. What's your issue? Your issue is that you want to proceed on legal vacation. It's fair. As a lawyer, you can decide to go on legal vacation. But the danger here is that the accused person cannot go on vacation when the court is sitting. Are you going to leave your client in limbo? Are you going to do that? You cannot do that. So, in fact, Atachia always has demonstrated. We could see he's a fine lawyer, I must admit. However, in recent times, his commentary has always been is something that we cannot write home about. For you, what you can do, a CJ has issued a warrant for a judge to which your case is being heard. You think you cannot sit. You've written a nice letter to the CJ requesting that at least you be exempted from that procedure. It's fair. Anybody can make that. It's based on the CJ to look at it and then agree with you or not. But you go out there to say that it's never done. Hi, I'm going on leave. I'll never show up. It's like before your letter gets to the CJ, you've prejudiced the matter already. You have taken a hardened stand. And to what end? To just pollute the air. In fact, I have sat in court in terms of Jachi Kwesin when Kwame Dwomoh was the AG. And they made an application to say that Jachi Kwesin case should be heard every day. Right? I was thinking, Chachi Chikata objected.
Because they wanted to expedite the case very quickly.
Chachi Chikata objected. That, okay, yes, the client, but he also, as a lawyer, has other cases. So if you want to take his day, the whole day, you're not being fair to him. The judge, Kwame Dwomoh said that no, it is the interest of every accused person that even your trial should be heard quickly because you claim you are guilty, you are not guilty. So if you are under trial, then they are saying things that you cannot do. For instance, your passport will be seized, you cannot travel. They are saying things you cannot do. So it was even in the interest of the accused person, which in this instance was Jachi Kwesin, that says trial should be heard early. So that if he claims he's not guilty and the court acquits him, then he goes home and do whatever he wants to do. Why has the principle changed now? Why don't you want to get your client out? Do you want your client to be under trial for years? For what? To what end?
Is it my, and maybe I'll get five thoughts when I come to. Is it my understanding that so, for example, if the case is not heard, Wontumi at some point gets a bail and goes home? That's what the MPP are pushing for.
No, it depends on the application, and in fact, the application basically pending bail. Yes, and to get bail pending trial, it means that there has to be some. On the face of it, for any judge to grant you that, will be that I look on the face of the judge, I think you are likely to be acquitted. So based on that, I want to give. It's a very tall order for them to get. So the point again is that get your trial as quickly as possible. You've maintained your point. You're pleased that you are not guilty. For me, I'd rather go through a trial for a month to end and I'm acquitted than to wait for 4 years, go 2 days, next week, next month, come, next 2 months. To what end? And my point again is that the issue is very simple. You think you might not be available. It's fair to make the application to the CJ. And in fact, the CJ has the constitutional duty to issue such a warrant because he manages the court in terms of his administrative function. So if he has issued a warrant, you don't go on every radio station, post on social media to say that you will never show up. What authority do you have? What authority do you have? You can resign. You can tell your client you not represent your client again. And I mean, Atacha has achieved that. Even the day of convicting Wontumi, he was basically not in court. And so it's becoming his normal style. So I believe that the accused persons should be forewarned and probably try searching for a new lawyer to represent them.
Let me get the thoughts of Faisal on this one. Again, if I just walked into this country, these are legal issues. But I'm not too sure whether we're ever going to move to a point where an issue is not politicized for one reason or the other. Because the GBA bosses or the president speaks. And the first thing I see after her comments was, oh, she's a wife of Mr. Jogati, who was an MPP presidential candidate. And from that moment, everything has just descended into chaos for me. And I'm asking myself, when are we ever going to move away from this kind of tangent? Can't we allow the courts to just work? How is that difficult? Or is it because people of your side of the political divide are involved in one way or the other?
Typical of the NDC.
What have they done again?
Soldiers. I mean, this issue of associating head of an institution to her kind of husband's political activities. She's heading Ghana Bar Association. Ghana Bar Association is made up of people from all backgrounds, of all political shades. So if they have convened to select a leader to lead them, you cannot say whatever she says because the husband has been involved in MPP politics. So what she is doing is something that will inure to the advantage of the MPP. No, let us allow these institutions to function effectively. I mean, without painting them with brushes like this. My point is that, you see, it's difficult to listening to my brother. I get so worried because you see, if you come to look at people who have bashed the judiciary, people who have interfered since 1992, it has always been an NDC. They have the big record of removing a chief justice. They, until they were elected into power in 2024, remember every judgment from the court, they used to say unanimous FC. You understand? So if you were saying all these things, and today members of the opposition are also raising issues with certain judgments, raising issues with interference, and you have a problem, and you are saying that, MPP, we suddenly just lost trust in the judiciary. We are raising issues.
When I recall when they raised issues in the past, the comment from your side of the political divide was go to court.
Definitely.
So you see, if you have issues, go to court there.
No, but what we are saying is that, are we saying that the fact that, we were saying go to court, it doesn't mean that we have done something that is outside the court? We haven't done anything outside the court. We have conducted a demonstration to air our grievances. I don't see anything wrong with that. These are rights enshrined in the 1992 Constitution. You and I have that right to demonstrate. Anytime we feel that there's an issue that we are not comfortable, or there's an issue that is going to adversely affect us, we can demonstrate. And if we demonstrate, we are raising issues so that what is not done right will be done right. So I don't see anything wrong with that. But I'm just saying, I'm just trying to expose...
Including having issues with legal vacation.
Definitely. You see, Kwame, let us understand something. And I'm happy the GBA has issued a statement on that. These are periods many judges and many lawyers plan to do other activities. It's not about, I think it's just about 3 or 2 months period. You understand? So all lawyers and judges and workers within the judicial establishment, they plan their activities.
Not all.
Yeah, I'm coming. They plan their activities because they know that when it gets to this time, there will be a vacation, and the vacation you use it to do other things. So if people have planned, and now there's already talk about, interference in the activities of the judiciary, and now we are told that certain cases will be heard during the legal vacation, and lawyers have already planned other activities. The only thing they have to do is to register their protest. Is to indicate that this one will affect us. Why don't you allow it to travel its natural course? Why are you in hurry? What is the desperation for? Is it that you are just desperate to get people convicted? And I have this feeling, and many lawyers have said that it is their philosophy that, you see, if at the end of the day there is some delay in legal process, and at the end of the day the right person is freed, the wrong person is convicted, the better for our democracy. But you cannot, assuming MPP were to rush all the cases that you have now filed nullo prosequa over, what would have happened? What would have been your position as a political party? You would have made a lot of noise. And I'm saying that these things didn't start today. Even during President Kufuor's time, when Mr. Chachuchikata was under trial, you were all over the place. Free Chachuchikata, free Chachuchikata. Who was to free Chachuchikata? With car bumper stickers everywhere, free Chachuchikata. So that has always been your practice. When you were busy singing that free Chachuchikata and other people, what process were you thinking that you used to free them? So I'm saying that if there are issues, let's raise them, and it is within the rights
Professor,
of the...
Professor, are you in any way suggesting that there has never been a time where, because of the nature of an issue, I'm not the Chief Justice, so I don't know the considerations that go into whether a case will continue or whether a case will be halted during the legal vacation. But I'm sure they would have discussed all of that at their level to decide that, okay, this case should proceed, this case can go on a break.
Yeah.
Are you suggesting that there's never been a time where during the legal vacation in this country, cases have been heard?
Well, I'm not a lawyer. I can't pretend to be one. But these are lawyers complaining. You understand? And they have
Some of
done
those
the
same
needful.
lawyers too told us that over the years, some cases are handled during that period.
Yes, so, but sometimes we have to also look at the nature of cases.
Exactly the point I raised.
For instance, people already have issues about want to miss conviction and other things. You
But
understand?
if I have an issue, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
up to the courts.
So, yeah, but I'm saying that, you see, we have to look at it properly. Already there are people have raised issues over certain trials. And now we have been told that, I mean, judges will have to stay over the legal vacation to hear those cases. Justifiably, people can make logical deduction. They can make logical conclusions that there is an agenda. More especially, you look at
What would the break do
I'm
for
coming.
you?
I'm coming. You
Yeah.
look at what is happening in the judiciary now. Chief Justice has been removed. Naturally, it will put some fears.
By the law. You didn't add that.
Well, I believe it was a political decision. It was
That's
a
fine.
political decision.
Go ahead.
That's my personal view. It was
But
a
the fact
political-
is that it was through the law.
Oh,
go ahead.
I mean, that's why I already told you that when there is change of government, people can also find.
No, we are just situating
They
the
can
conversation
find
so that
reasons
somebody
to
listening
remove
to us
people.
wouldn't
They can
just
find
say, they
reasons
just
to remove
removed the
people.
woman. It went through a court procedure. So
Now I'm saying
just
that,
to add that.
Kwame, I told
I
you
respect
that
your
apart
point,
from Kwame
but it's
Nkrumah,
fine. Yeah.
it's just President Mahama who has facilitated the removal of a chief
I respect your
justice.
point. You proceed.
And Kwame Nkrumah was noted for some political intolerance. And I'm also thinking that President Mahama is also growing highly intolerant.
Proceed, my brother.
Because now, we just talked about the judiciary. I told you the removal. People are being arrested. The other day, somebody just posted on social media, Dumso is back. The person is arrested. That is intolerance of the highest order. If somebody said, for instance, if
Can you connect it to
I'm
this
coming, I'm
particular
coming.
legal vacation
Coming,
issue for
I'm
me? I
coming.
beg you. Yeah.
It all has to do with the intolerance we are talking about. And I'm just giving you that somebody said Dumso is back. For instance, if I wake up, there's no lights in my home. The next day I experience the same thing. Third day I experience the same thing. Then I write on my Facebook wall that Dumso is back. That's my reality. Arresting me over what?
That was not the case involving that young man.
Exactly.
What was the
I'm
case?
sure you remember.
What was the case?
The case against him was that he was using the signage of an organization
Yes.
Which
to do
organization?
that. I can't. I can't.
You
recall
can
the name
check,
of the
it's there.
organization,
Which
but I
you remember the organization?
Oh, but this
It's something
this
we
is
can
all right.
easily
we
check.
can easily
Well,
check. So
I'm
you
asking
go ahead.
you-
I'm
No, I'm
checking.
saying you can
You
easily
go ahead,
check.
I'm checking.
So these are signs of intolerance. And when people talk about it, they are being arrested. And you say that we shouldn't talk about it. So, but what I'm trying to say is that, because in the submission of my brother,
The
he
young
made-
man was called David Esando,
Yes.
the Agona West constituency organizer. He was detained over that post. That's that one you refer to it as rights. But the details we have is that he used the post. Okay, let me get the name of the company again. You go ahead. I'm guessing the company.
So, Kwame, I mean,
Go ahead.
So what I'm saying, my brother's submission, he made a lot of issues about the demonstration, how Nana Ya Gentua was being attacked, and nobody attacked Nana Ya Gentua. And I believe you need to listen to what happened there, because last night I had the opportunity, I took the pings to watch it. Afenyo Makin never attacked Nana Ya Gentua. What happened was that the NDC was at their wit end, to know that the demonstration was successful. So in order to divert attention, they kind of allow Madam.
Okay, Faisal, it looks like you don't have any issue to do with the legal vacation.
Oh no! I
Because
mentioned.
you keep going
No! I'm reacting
round and around it.
No,
Yeah.
I've made my submission on that. And I'm
Okay.
saying that
Okay,
there's a
he's
need
done.
for the Chief
Then if
Justice
he's done, let me have my bite.
to listen to the concerns of the lawyers. Yes, they have said that no, they have already planned their vacation. So my personal opinion is that the Chief Justice should listen to the lawyers,
What-
listen to the
Let-
Ghana Bar
this one is
Association.
more of a personal one.
Yes.
What do you think the break would do
Yes.
in favor of a new member of your party like Bunsubi? What would the break do? If like we go on a legal vacation,
Yes.
what would it do?
No, you see,
Rather than proceeding with the case, what would it
my
do?
point is that when somebody is standing trial, they have a right to a legal counsel.
Of
You
course.
understand? Buntume has his counsel.
Yes.
Now there's going to be a vacation. Now the lawyers have raised issue that we will wish that it traveled the natural course rather than saying that
hurried.
judges should come and hear the case. You understand? And I believe that it's not a big request. How is that a big request?
You don't want the case to conclude quickly and
Is that the
So
only
that we live our
is that
lives.
the only important case standing?
but that's surely
in
not the
court?
only case. There are
So
other
that
cases.
is why we are saying that if the lawyers have raised concerns and the concerns, per my understanding, is legitimate, it is just, I mean, the best that the Chief Justice listen to them, and more so, their position has been strengthened by the Ghana Bar Association. You understand? The Ghana Bar Association is an association that so all the members of the judiciary are also members, and now they are also raising the same concern that issue. I mean, we should just allow it to travel the way other cases are traveling, and I think that it is a very fair request.
Okay, so
but I was just
the petition has been
responding
made
to
to
some
the
of the
CJ.
yes.
So I'm sure they'll look at
Yeah,
it.
so I'm appealing that the Chief Justice should listen to the petition. I mean, grant their wish, because you see, at the end of the day, you want.
You said you should listen, but you're
I-
already calling for their wish to be granted. You don't want to give the CJ some time to
appealing.
think about it.
I'm appealing as a citizen, just like the lawyers have also petitioned. It's an appeal. It's for him to listen or otherwise. So my request is an appeal that he should listen, because I want a situation where at the end of the day, when judgment is finally made, nobody will have a cause to raise issues about unfairness.
If the CJ declines your appeal, what will you say?
Well, the lawyers will know what to do next.
You won't say it's
No,
political
I'm
or
not a
whatever.
lawyer.
whatever.
I'm not a lawyer. I can't pretend to be one. But the lawyers will know the other legal avenues to adopt.
Okay.
But I was just reacting to the
Please do quickly,
issue of
so that,
Nana Yajentua. So as I was saying,
my brother will
you
campaign
see,
for
it was
lawyer.
Nana Yajentua came out with these stories, concert stories, just to divert attention. Nobody attacked him.
Faisal,
I listened to.
that's,
How?
which one is the
No,
conclusion
no,
story?
no. You know my tree is not good.
But you have said it.
Your tree is very good.
But you have said it.
It's very good.
So,
I
it
don't
was
even
just
want.
to
I
divert
don't even
attention.
want us to spend with the greatest of respect. I have watched the Afenyo marking video
Yes.
not once. In
Yes.
fact, I watched it again yesterday.
So he
not twice,
attacked
not
the
3
lady.
times.
No.
I just feel that sometimes we overblow some things.
Yeah, that's what
Respectfully.
happened.
I've watched the video
No,
maybe
attack.
about 4 times.
He was.
You know, when I'm talking to you, like, let's say I'm speaking to Faisal or Nana,
Yeah.
my choice of words are very important.
Very well.
Hey, come. Oh, can you please come? It's the same thing I have said differently.
Exactly.
And with respect and with decorum.
Exactly.
If you watch that Fenyo marking video, I counted about 3 or 4 times. He kept saying, with the greatest of respect to you. Not that you are not qualified to receive the letter.
Yeah.
But we believe that this issue should have been with the greatest of respect and a big person. Let me put it that way for want of it.
Yeah.
But it's like the way the two of you do your politics.
No, but you see,
you always
what
blow
happened
the
in
thing.
his
You always
video-
blow the
Kwame,
things.
You know, maybe
Ah,
every
you always-
person who
Kwame.
insult and say, "Me pacho." Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
The two of you,
So
you
we
always blow the things.
respect and all these things.
Yeah.
I mean,
With respect
then
means
if you
nothing.
listen to-
What
if you
followed
listen to-
after?
Okay, it's not
If
part
you
of our
listen
issue. So let's move on. Let's move on for Nana to campaign for lawyer to get a position. There's always been this talk of, and the caveat is that we are not in a position to appoint anybody.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We can
So,
only lobby. So don't take it personal if we were discussing an issue like ministerial reshuffle. in the 18 months of His Excellency President John, I mean, this is not the first time issues of reshuffle have come up. If I were to count, this will be about the 7th or 8th time or something, where we hear, oh, the old man was surprised. The old man was surprised, and someone will take the letter away. They say that when the old man was, but that's on the lighter notes. When he plans to release the list, then the person who is typing the letter will say the ink is finished, or that day they don't have stationery at Jubilee House, so they are not able to print. And then the next day he will forget, and then life will go. But this one, I honestly didn't see it coming. And in this case, it's not like somebody was fired. People were reassigned, just like you see in other organizations. It was just a case of Azanato, who was a new person in there. What should we be looking at within the context of, let's say, reshuffling? Some have argued that it should be based on the KPIs of the person who is performed. And it's purely a performance conversation. If you are not performing, and it's fair to say that everyone is fairly familiar with how every ministry operates, unless you are not interested in those kind of issues. But if you are interested, Ministry of Health, you should have an idea. Finance, have an idea. What will be the basis for sack that person? Or because of politics, the president doesn't even owe you any explanation. He can fire you without an explanation, because it's a long queue. Everyone is good enough. So if you're not getting an opportunity, now let me start with this with you, because you are in governance, and all the conversations that have arisen from whether somebody should go or stay.
Well, I share your point that at least the KPI should guide, the president in making some of these things. But KPIs alone do not govern people. The other aspect that you also, yes. So we have the political aspect as well.
Okay.
And like you rightly said, there are other people equally good who could have done. And in fact, it's one of the things that hits the MPP within their 8 years, whereby one minister was retained for several years. People have various constituencies. Like I'm even pleading for my own MP now. You see, everyone feel that, we've all done what we were supposed to do to win the power. So in sharing the cake, you have to, even which the constitution itself says that when you're making someone look at some regional balance, gender amongst the like. So
I want them to edit that one. The one that's that regional balance. I want them to edit respectfully. I don't have a problem if all our ministers are from Tema West and they are performing. Sitting here, I don't have a problem. But of course, not everyone thinks like that.
So I don't share in that opinion as well, because it helps to bring that kind of cohesion amongst. Yes, if you want to look at straightly performance only, then fine. There are some people who can perform, but there are other aspects to which might be their downside, which might not be directly in relation to their how do you call it, their KPIs. So for instance, your human relation can even affect the government in its entirety. So what do we do? Even though you are performing, and mind you performing doesn't mean you are the only one who can perform in such a role.
Of course.
Unless the rule is that, as for this person, if you take the person out to nobody else, then it will be there are other equally competent people. So the fact that you have occupied a position and you have served, also be able to have that at the back of your mind to know that there are others who can also come in and do that particular work. And like I'm saying, the regional balance, the ethnic, the power, it should rotate. There should be some fair balance in there. So at least having women in there, so someone will say, I don't care if they are all men and they are performing. Someone, okay, I don't care if they are all, but at least we should have the youthfulness which the President Mahama has demonstrated in his administration. So for me, there are some balances out there which not exactly safe to say that only your KPIs. There are 1,001 people that can meet the same KPI you are meeting. But the other consideration politically, in terms of good governance, that you also have to come in there to bring the national cohesion that makes everything. Because there are times whereby ministers have been appointed in one region or don't have, and you see people demonstrating to say that we also have we want a bite at the.
I saw the one in Bole.
Yes, there was a time.
That's the president's constituency.
Yes,
and
yes,
the MP there did not get a full ministry.
Yes. Even under Mills, when the first set came.
Honorable Haruna Idrisu, I remember that.
You see, so for me, it's just fair. It wouldn't be fair to say that, okay, Northern part do not have any.
No, that was like
maybe
GM's first time.
Yes, maybe you will have people from the south, like I said, who can perform. But should that be fair? Would that be build coherence within the democracy we are running? Obviously not. So for me, it's we have to look at the other factors, not just the KPIs. So I've looked at what has been done, bringing Zenato in and also Mahama Yariga in there. I mean, for me, Zenato is one person I was actually looking forward to. In fact, within the first set of ministers, but it didn't happen. But thankfully, her role has been she has been given the role, and I have very good confidence in her that she'll be able to perform and perform well, because she serves as mentor to young women, and she's that inspiring. Her charisma, taking after the father, there are so many things working for her. So I believe that she will not disappoint. She will work, and so that the confidence that the president has in her, she will be able to exceed what the president intended her to achieve. And also Mahama Yaga, Minister of Local Government, and Honorable Kenneth Aso Ejay. He was the former Deputy Minister for Defense, and it took a year when Honorable Omanebo Amapas may so rest for him to be appointed. So I believe that he also has a grasp over the ministry already. So as a deputy minister now, once
He was deputy minister under Mahama 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
So at least he has a fair idea how the operations. And in fact, when you are going to ministry, yes, it's a very, I don't know how to put it, but you have to have somebody who understands that particular ministry, because it's something that you cannot gamble over. So it's a right decision that the president has made, and I believe that he also perform fairly and do the good work. That's one. So I know. I also am predicting that in the coming months or by next year something will happen in terms of trying to reshuffle a bit, and then that is where my plea comes in terms of lawyer James to be given some ministerial role, so that at least people of Tema West, so far as we've taken the seat from the Blues, continually we want it to be what green. And my brother will come. We will show him the green lands of Tema West.
Tema has always been, I remember when it was just East and West.
Yes.
I mean, it was like no chance for the NDC.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, because I grew up living in Tema.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
right.
my side was pretty much part of Tema East. I live in
East.
Committee 1.
Committee
So
1,
my side
okay.
was pretty much, it was like no chance.
Yes.
No chance
Yes.
for
Yes.
whoever from the late regional chairman. What was the name of this guy, man? He later became regional chairman of the NPP. He was MPP. He was MP for like 96 going. Ishmael.
Ashiti.
Yeah. And then the other side was lawyer Edu.
Yes.
Lawyer Edu was the west side.
Was the west.
Yeah.
Yes,
Was
and he
our
also
constituency.
served until Natoshi came.
Yes.
Natoshi also
And
served.
Carlos came.
And then Carlos came
Yeah.
also served. It was then the split came.
Yes.
Then it looked
Central
like
came.
NDC
Central.
benefited with the former mayor. Oh, the guy man with that interesting name. The one who beat titles by 3 votes.
Yes.
But for the
Yes.
split into 3, Tema was always going to be tough for NDC.
Yes. At least
so
we know Central
maybe
is
that
safe for
helped.
us. So East and West, that's why sometimes we have to battle it out. But I can assure you that
Now you are coming for them, eh?
Not anytime
As for
soon.
Faisal, I'm
Not
sure
anytime soon.
the first thing he will say is none of them are performing. They should all go.
You see, Kwame, you see, just like you mentioned, when we started this politics under the Fourth Republican dispensation from '92, most urban areas were noted to be voting for NPP, and at some point, both political parties all made significant attempt to move to the left. So you have some middle class who are also voting for the NDC, and you also have people in down the middle class also voting for the MPP also. So there will be a lot of changes, but the 2024 election was a very difficult election for us as a political party. Thankfully, we are reorganizing and kind of rebuilding to recapture power in 2028.
Oh, just soon. So soon.
Well, we have a candidate. Do you have a candidate?
Okay.
We have a
Oh, but they'll
candidate
definitely
problem.
elect the
Oh, but
candidates.
right now, because they don't have a
But they'll definitely elect the
serious
candidates.
candidate,
No, I
they are
thought
saying
you are
that the
making a-
president should go for a third term.
I thought you were making projection maybe 2020.
No, I don't mind.
No,
20.
He's just pulling
so-
your legs. Don't
okay.
mind him. Don't mind.
I
He's just pulling your
have,
legs.
see, I had the opportunity yesterday. Yesterday, I came out and I just crossed the road. I was moving towards the asylum down. I mean, the
Where your people were
psychiatric hospital.
demonstrating your head office, your headquarters.
Oh no.
You didn't get there.
Close
Okay,
to the
okay.
psychiatric hospital.
Okay.
And then one news media house, television house, interviewed me on this reshuffling, and they were asking me because in Accra, I'm supposed to be in Zenita's constituency.
Yeah.
So they wanted to find out whether I had in mind some ministerial, designated ministry that I was thinking it could be given to. And I said, no, for appointments, they are the prerogative of the president. He determines who is going to help him to accomplish or achieve his agenda. So it doesn't necessarily mean that the fact that Zeneta's father was a military officer, Minister of Defense should be given to her. She doesn't have any background as far as defense. From where I sit, defense and military issues are concerned, and the position that she has been given is also science related, and she's a science person. So I'm just thinking that when at that level of management, it's not so much about your academic qualification, your professional or training. It's more about leadership. Of course, you need to have the needed qualification and all of that to be able to give the needed leadership and then deliver the goods. But before then, a lot of people have raised concerns about the fact that JM has been in power for almost 2 years and Zeneta could not even be made a deputy minister, knowing very well that JM himself was brought onto the political limelight by the father. So the perception was that, if the father also brought you as deputy minister and before he left the scene, he made you a substantive minister for communication. And the fact that Zeneta has also been a member of parliament for about 2 or 3 terms. Yeah. So the expectation was that the first list, at least Generalist is big in NDC. The NDC was founded by her parents. Generalist and the wife kind of founded the NDC. So if there's going to be a government of the NDC, and she has also worked her way through to parliament, there was a need for them to have made her deputy and also maybe eventually a substantive minister. So talking to some friends who are NDC, that's what they were thinking. But well, they are happy that something has been given to her. Now it is also left for her to justify her inclusion. It's for her to stand out. Perform to the satisfaction of those who have appointed him. Now there's another issue of Mama Ayerga's appointment to local government. And if you look at the structure of the local government now, it includes chieftaincy. And many observers are worried, given the fact that the biggest chieftaincy problem we have in this country is Boku. And, somehow he's aligned. So the thinking was that if something could
I thought he was on either side.
No.
His mom is from one side, his father is from one side.
Yeah, but
Yes.
Down up north, we are patrilineal. There's no way I'm going to identify like my mother's hometown. Of course, it's my hometown, all right. But if you ask me, we are patrilineal. So I'm going to tell you that I'm from Tolon. That's where my father comes from.
Okay.
You understand? So that is the situation. And people are thinking that, and I've seen the Mampusis raise issues as far as that appointment is concerned. Mama Yerga is one NDC MP or politician I admire so much. He's a very intelligent and brilliant guy. But the president could have given him something to avoid all these accusations and counter explanations and all of that. Okay. So sometimes in appointments, let us look at the feeling. Those who are raising issues may not be necessarily be NDC people, but they are also parties to the conflict.
Okay.
And you don't do something to give people impression that I'm just on this side. I don't really care about what the other side says. It doesn't help in any
Okay, so
way.
we still have just one final topic, the cocoa issue. Let me start with you, Faisal, on this one. Your side of the political divide are raising a fair bit of concerns on the new cocoa bill. It's a very lengthy one, so I won't read it because of time, but I'm sure you're familiar with the concerns that have been raised by your side of the political divide. What are you unhappy with?
Yeah, so first of all, our side of the divide has raised very legitimate concerns, and I think that the president should hasten slowly on that. Let his advisors brief him on the issues before appending his signature, because the New Patriotic Party spokesperson raised issues about the rush with which, because the bill, I understand, was submitted in July 28. Within the same week, it was passed. And they have raised legitimate issues. One of the main issues that they have raised has to do with the fact that if you want to kind of destroy your cocoa farm, you know, some of these cocoa farms, sometimes it is affected by a certain disease, and the best option for you as a farmer would be to uproot them, destroy them and replant. And now we are told that it is a requirement that if you're going to do that, you have to necessarily seek an approval. An approval must be granted before you do that. And they've raised issues that, these are private cocoa farmers. They are not people who have been they are not farms established by the state. It's private endeavor. So to say that a private person must seek approval and must get an approval before they can destroy their farm or uproot their trees raises a lot of questions about unnecessary interference. And I think that these are issues that the president must seek advice, not necessarily the people involved, cocoa board or something. Sometimes when you want to make a decision like this, you need to seek an advice outside your comfort zone to see what the ordinary farmer concerns are. Because you see, cocoa is one of the mainstay of our economy. And if we know we don't handle it very well and something goes wrong, it's likely to affect, to have an adverse effects on the economy of this country. And nobody prays for that, even though, we are in opposition. But if there's a problem with the economy, just like there are hikes in petroleum prices, we all buy petrol. You understand? So we will not say that because we are in opposition, we should just go sleep and something happen and then we take advantage of it. We have to also raise concern, and that is why the MPs have raised the issues. And it is for the president to listen and then dig deeper to see whether the concerns they have raised are, real or not.
Okay, let me get Nana's thoughts briefly on this one and then wrap up.
So it's some valid points have been made. I've listened to their spokesperson, but what baffles me, maybe with the greatest of respect to him, whether some of the members of the MPP in terms of the committee were sleeping on the job, because he makes certain statement that they wanted to the president should wait and make this input. I'm like, what were you doing? You see how parliaments work. The best place to see that parliamentarians, whether MPP, NDC, whoever, are working collectively is within the committees. So why didn't you raise all these issues? And you waited, even on the floor of power, you do first reading, second reading, third, then you do debate on the bill before you submit. They cannot even point to any record on that as to whether they even made some of these statements on the floor of parliament, save for when it was passed, Now they are making inputs. I'm like, you cannot do that. You see, we have a country to run. So do your work, even though you are in a minority. Committee is the best place to work. And look at what has been done. Like what the issue my brother raised in terms of the farmers selling their farms and all. You see, this is what annoyed on prayer and miracles when they went to the farmers. They should have solicited, if not doing to do politics alone. They should have known, they ought to have known that the farmers themselves complained about this. What was their problem? That some members will sell their farms to galamseyers or to, then the adjoining farms will be affected because if they are doing any operation, they affect my land.
That's right.
So how do you regulate it? Okay, then let's put in a bill. Let's put in the law to regulate it. Nobody has a problem. So to say that maybe there are some pets affected, so I want to burn it down, reasonably, who wouldn't allow you to do this? Nobody will fault you. But you cannot give out your land for some activities which in fact will affect your neighbor. It is they themselves that raise some of these issues. And that is why we have it in there. So if they are not sleeping on the job and are really in touch with the cocoa farmers, where they went to, they should have done politics. They should have asked them the real issues. And look at some of the things that has been done. Price guarantee, 70% of FOB given to the farmers. What else do you want? What
80.
else?
Maybe they want 80.
But they are not even propagating that. They are not even propagating. This is something they asked for, and which even reading the budget, Dr. Atufosi mentioned that we have given you what you asked for. This is something that they have. We want to retain 50% of the production in what? In the country. And by that, we are supposed to set up or expand the cocoa processing and other factories to generate some more. It's going to generate job, great revenue for us, help us in terms of our foreign exchange. These are some of the things in there which are good. Yes, I don't have a problem if you have some downside, but where were you? Not even on the floor of parliament. It was after. Now you are saying the president shouldn't sign the bill. So let's try and help the country.
My
Okay.
brother, I don't see
20 seconds,
wrong
quickly.
with that.
Yeah.
Kwame, you see, the point is that this is a democracy. The fact that, the committee work is also made up of majority and minority.
Yes, but they didn't
Sometimes
raise
you
it.
argue your points out, the minority will bulldoze their way through. Does that mean that you cannot raise it outside the floor of parliament? This
Okay.
is a democracy.
Where were you?
Let me.
Right.
My time is up, unfortunately.
you?
Let me take my messages and close. Hey, so everything is political according to MPP. You say, Uncle Eko says, is legal vacation a constitutional command for which the operation of the law in Ghana must suspend? If it is, does the Constitution of Ghana also go on vacation? That's an interesting one. Okay, yeah. This one says, Kwame, it looks like the MPP has forgotten things that they said about John Mahama, including calling him a drunkard. Hey, see what they are saying today. Okay. If Kwame Nkrumah was a dictator, then Ghana needs a dictator because he's been much better than any other leader. MPP people want people to do everything. Okay. Niin Mamprobi, you send this one. Erica in Gulf City, you say, good morning, Kwame. What kind of parents are we becoming because of politics? 8 years, an MPP, you couldn't convict these NDC appointees with any evidence. MPP has nothing to show but for disrespect. Okay, Erica in Gulf City, you send us one. Well, unfortunately, my time is up. I do have to check out. But let me say good morning to Alhaji Falia, the Member of Parliament for, the MC for Medina in Kwantanan municipality, Alhaji Ibrahim Falia. I know you're doing the listening. Thank you so much for checking up every now and then. Great guy, and I know he's doing some great job in Medina and its environs. But let me also take the opportunity to say happy birthday to a brother. Happy birthday to you, my brother Solomon Kusi Tete, my student who has become my friend. He's a deputy in charge of PR and communications at the Ministry of Sports and Recreation. Today is your birthday. You don't tell us the party venue, you don't tell us your age, but we'll find out. You at this point there, we are interested in the party venue, so you tell us. And now that you've also come back from America and Canada to come and do accounts, it's very important. Today when we meet, you have to render accounts from whatever happened in Canada and the United States after you went to enjoy at the World Cup. Come and give us your share of the per diem and everything that you enjoyed as a staff. On that note, we draw the curtains on today's edition of the show. Thank you so much for doing the listening. God willing, we'll be back again same time tomorrow. The news is up next, and then Irene will be here to run you through Mets